Alright, let's go ahead and get the baking pan heated up, because it's not going to cook itself. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report, brought to you by Snortbucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys are doing well, and so on and so forth. Sticking to our agenda, there will be 5 videos that will make up our broadcast, all of them brought to us by Burnell, DSP. No chewing the fat with GTG or anything like that. Let's just go ahead and get the ball rolling, so on and so forth. Like I said, this bacon will not cook itself, and hopefully in some small way we can either start your day, end your day, or help you get through your day in some small way. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully you guys are all doing well, and here we go.
Play the game!
To warn everyone. Warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Alright, before we get into this amazing Call of Duty gameplay, let's go ahead and start the ball off right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the first video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Burnell, DSP. First video, destroyed in Call of Duty, or COD. I need as much money as possible in the next 3 days. In Mario, behind a paywall. This video was published on February 9th of 2021, our year of Greece. The link will be down in the description. Time for that extraordinary gameplay, guys. Strap in. Here we go.
I don't know how to cure this problem with my eyeballs.
Okay, I had a beat on him, I fire, I hit first, and I die. Whatever you say, start the game. Are you fucking serious? I open fire from point blank, every bullet hits, and he doesn't go down. Yeah, the connection's fucking garbage. Fuck this thing, hard point.
Yikes! That's a really great map from Black Ops 2. And there's so many little nooks and crannies that you can kind of use to your advantage, and so on and so forth. When he gets killed, trying to run directly back to the person who killed you is never a good idea. He can, especially in a map like that where you have so many different lanes of approach, he should be trying to flank, to be honest. But whatever, let him. He's the one who does this for a living, right? So let him go ahead and call his own plays.
Dude, what? How the fuck he had 0 health? He's spamming bullets and somehow kills me? Fuck off! He had 0 health, how's no way to survive that shit? What? Fucking bullshit.
And then he killed him again! That's hilarious!
Eat a dick.
All I can taste is the saltiness.
Are you kidding me? Did you see that? Point blank, I loaded all those bullets and none of them registered. Not a single bullet registered. Are you talking fucking lag, dude? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? I shot him in the face 3 to 4 times and I die. Yeah, fuck this. Fuck this piece of shit laggy garbage. Yo, fuck this laggy garbage. Complete trash.
Oh, you're gonna get salt, 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 salt. It's even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
God damn, the Burnell family Kool-Aid all over the floor. Jesus Christ. It's watching gameplay like that on those type of nostalgia type maps that really I really hope that Black Ops 2 remastered comes out. Not a remake. I mean, we don't need any more failures there. Just a remaster. That would be fucking amazing. It would be fucking amazing. And like take away all of the kind of like all of the like existential bullshit and just get down to like actual core like gameplay where people like needed tactics and shit. Then it would be, and had to actually develop their gun skill. It would be a lot better. One could hope.
I have no idea how he came up behind me. What the fuck, dude? This map sucks. I'm tired of this. Is laggy bullshit. He's right in front of me. I'm shooting bullets into his body. Oh, I turned to insta-kill you. What? You didn't even aim. You were spraying full auto killing the other guy. Turned still spraying and insta-killed me. Fuck this game.
With this salt, salt, salt flavor. Ugh.
Really? That's not good. Expand Dog says LTG makes people put down friends and family when they tip him, so he doesn't have to pay taxes. Dude, you realize that's insanely bad. That's not correct. You're lying to the fucking IRS and saying every single person who sends you.
LTG lying about any lolcow lying to the IRS. Wings has been accused of doing some shady shit too. He probably is doing it. It is what it is. But I should have something a bit more extensive going over that, because there is this situation here, then Low Tier God responded, then Phil kind of tried to walk back his statement. It's a funny little collage of nonsense. I don't know when that'll come out though, but eventually it's in the works for sure, because that shit was hilarious. The way fucking Low Tier God roasted his ass was fucking funny, hilarious. But I wouldn't be surprised if anybody, as it pertains to within the streaming or even online community in general. I mean, people in real life do it. You know what I'm saying? You skirt shit on your fucking taxes. It's no surprise. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy conned his way through fucking the bankruptcy. So, what do you care? You know what I'm saying? What do you care? And then he got mad because, oh, I was just commenting on a situation. Everybody else can do it, but when I do it, there's such a problem. Yeah, it's kind of funny and it's kind of ironic that you have a scam artist calling another scam artist a scam artist. It's kind of silly. So to speak, of course.
That's not good. That's really bad. If that's the case, he could go to jail. I hope what you're telling me is bullshit. I hope that's not true. Expand Dong. I would feel really bad right here. He goes to fucking jail because he's taxes.
Good point on Snort Burnell's part. He does seem to give a shit about. Let's reword that. Let's reframe this. He treats and maybe even looks up to LTG in the same type of way that Wings of Redemption or Jordy Jordan looks up to him. It's a weird type of what's the word I'm looking for? It's a strange type of illusional camaraderie, if you will. Like, don't get me wrong, like all these guys fucking fall into some type of category with each other. And ranking who's better and who's worse comes down to personal preference. But it's funny how he's especially over the last couple of years, he's gone almost out of his way, at least for what DSP does, to try to appeal and try to ingratiate himself. That's really the term I'm looking for. Trying to ingratiate himself to Low Tier God. Whereas with Wings, he'll literally shit on Wings all day. He'll sit there and try to act like he's not, especially if he can use it in some type of way to try to defend himself. But other than that, he shits on Wings hard. Well, LTG shits on DSP. You know what I'm saying? Now, not on the regular, but enough so to where I know DSP has heard a good portion of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Low Tier God doesn't take him seriously. And if nothing else, outside of that one video that was made back in 2018, that's when DSP was trying, that's when 30th anniversary for Street Fighter collection came out, and Phil wanted to have a match with him. But actually the lore is that DSP was trying to actually appeal to Kenny Omega and trying to get him into a couple matches on stream and so on and so forth. That fell through fast, so he jumped to Low Tier God next, and then they couldn't come up with terms and conditions, and basically, outside if there was going to be some money on the line to make it worthwhile, which is understandable, LTG didn't see a need to do it. He was like, you know, I don't see a point. I don't give out free clout anymore or whatever. So I don't see the issue. But it was, I think the irony out of that is you have two guys that who have colorful reputations in the FGC community, and yet Low Tier God can come to the evaluation that unless I'm going to be compensated in such a way that I feel that is appealing, I don't see a need to get in the mud with you. That right there should really have been a slap to the face of DSP. But at the same time, that's the same slap that Phil has given to Wings of Redemption, so to speak, just without the financial aspect of it. But DSP knows that if he goes on a dual stream with Wings, he's going to get money. He'll get money from his own community as well as even the Wings community to some extent. But there's a lot of problems that come with that as well. So it's like an endless and very vicious circle. They're all lol cows, right? It's like I said, it's debatable on who's better or who's worse. But the understanding that one is trying to appeal to the other one feels like they're beyond them, and while they're trying to appeal to somebody else. And then the guy who, let's say Low Tier God at this point, which is ironic in itself, who's at the top of the mountain, doesn't want to deal with anybody, is kind of hilarious. It's kind of hilarious.
Because if he willingly did that, I think that's a felony. That's tax evasion, felony tax evasion. Knowing that people should be paying tax, or you should be paying taxes, and saying that it's all friends sending you money, that ain't good, man.
Oh, what? It's not good, but then this is the same person who hasn't paid his federal tax in how many years? How many? Okay. and was skirting away from his state and business occupation tax, which is hilarious because when you really think about it, he left Connecticut because he didn't want to pay state tax to go to another state that had a state and business tax and chose not to pay it for 3 years. But he made sure Panda paid hers. Amazing. That right there is a real businessman right there.
I seriously hope that's not true. And by the way, I'm not entertaining a single stupid comment from idiots in the stream chat. Phil does tax evasion, Phil does this and that. Fuck you. You're dumb fuck. It's complete lies. I'm not gonna put up with your bullshit. If I wasn't playing, I would ban every single one of you idiots saying it. No, it's not fucking true. You're just making shit up consistently. Nonsense. To try to make me look bad.
What? You're out of your mind! No, that's not possible. I had him. Fuck you. Wow, that's some horse shit.
It's not possible to take a shotgun blast to the chest? You don't say.
I can't believe they took the kill away. That was a guaranteed dead right there. I thought it was gonna happen, but this idiot ran towards me, so of course they're gonna target multiple people. Thanks to kill him. They gave me a headshot? That was not a headshot. That's bullshit! I was right in front of him, the knife went through his fucking body. Fuck you. Oh my god, that was it! And a guy randomly got a sniper shot. Fucking bullshit. While I was hitting him, he sniped me. More bullshit with this fucking game. Yes, I can snipe you while you're shooting me in my fucking face. What? Right. He was invisible, then the bullets started hitting me and the game showed him on top of the fucking bus. He wasn't there before.
Now, to get to the subject at hand and everything that I really need to talk about, of what's going on here, this is what I tweeted about this morning that I hope that many of you...
It's a shame that mental gymnastics isn't like an actual event. Because not only would Phil be in probably the best shape possible, but he may actually win. He might actually take first place. Oh shit. He's had a lot of practice. But then again, with that being said, given all the years that he devoted to Street Fighter and how much debt he went into to try to pursue Street Fighter and only took fourth at his peak, I guess, yeah, no, probably not.
Listen up, what's going on with me, alright? In the month of January, a lot of big bills came due, for various reasons. Taxes of various kinds, some of which are federal, some of which are state, some of which are bullshit, which I shouldn't even owe, but I'm forced to pay because of a condo in Connecticut that should have been foreclosed upon last year and just never got foreclosed upon. They're just dragging their feet. But basically, there was a lot of bills that came due, and some of them ended up being much bigger than I had ever anticipated, for various reasons, okay? Not going to go into detail about each and every bill that I got in January because there were some unexpected ones that popped up there that combined with things that are expected. And when that happens, like, damn, okay, well, good thing that I'm making, you know, the money I'm making, I can pay all of it. Problem is, I did pay all of it, and I looked at my finances, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, wow, that completely emptied me. Like, 100% drained my accounts to, like, zero.
So, wait. So, you were sitting on a wad of cash, right? You paid all of the bills, and then you went back and looked and was like, oh, I'm broke? Were they all due? Did they all, like, become due at the same time? Did you not have, you know, an extra week or two to kind of stretch that out until you get to, like, your YouTube paycheck or your Twitch paycheck or whatever? Or the $100 or $200 you got coming on Patreon? Could you not, like, reach out to, like, Planet Jeff behind the scenes and shit and have him, like, fork over $1,000 or some shit to keep you floated till payday? Like, what's the problem? like I don't understand. Like, you looked at all these bills, you looked at the money that was in your bank account, and you're like, okay, after a few calculations, it's all here, and then you spent it. And then you turn around looking like, what the fuck, dude, I'm broke? Is that really how we came to this? Okay. He's hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious.
The funds I'm using to buy groceries, to buy food, you know, when I'm not making a homemade meal. Remember, I just did the Papa John's pizza for DSP Tries It for
That's not a homemade meal. You ordered that. And matter of fact, he actually had a small little begging segment, if you want to call it that, before he even did that. DSP Tries It, because he needed people to come through and compensate him to cover that meal. Matter of fact, give me a second. Let me go to my handy dandy notes here. Let's see here. That was for it was a $200 tip goal he was trying to hit that day. So it would cover the cost of the food, basically. And I think he said groceries was wrapped up in that too, because it was in the Snort Burnell video prior to this. Let's see. DSP, $200 tip goal. Not having a job and playing video games all day is a bad idea. Oh well. How we're so quick to forget.
Marathon, well, your tips paid for that. Your tips are paying for all the bills around here. My health insurance, which I just had to pay. Condo dues on the condo that should have been fucking.
Actually, on top of the condo dues, is he paying the property tax there too? Because I could see how that would be an amazing drain on him, to say the very least. Just throwing that out there, because I think he owes like $2,000 to that a year, or something along those lines.
It's really fucked up. That condo should be out of my name and should have been out of my name last year. And it's still in my name, and this is $400 a month. Alright? That's being drained from me, and there's nothing I can do about it. I've been told legally if I don't pay it, I'll get sued. So I have to pay it every month. Car payment. You know, all this stuff. Your tips.
Hey, let's be honest, that $400 he would have squandered on something else anyway. He's not going to... We're talking about a man who doesn't believe in saving anything. You know what I'm saying? So let's be honest. He's not thinking about his future. This is day-by-day begging. So he makes it sound like that $400 a month was really going to help him. I mean, Jesus Christ. He didn't mind spending... Let's see. He was on the Connecticut condo. He was paying what, $1,200 a month allegedly, plus the $400 he bitching about now, plus an additional what, $2,000 a year in property tax and shit. And he was bitching about paying the water bill over there too for whatever reason, or the sewage bill and whatnot. So he was tanking what? Excuse me. He was tanking at least an additional I don't know, $2,400 over there each and every month, while he was still handling everything at the Snort Fort in Washington. Just something to think about.
Week and a half have paid for all those for me, and nothing else. I haven't spent $1 on anything else, just the essentials, because I have no money. All right. Now you might say, well, I don't understand how you're in this situation. Well, it's because I just last year declared bankruptcy. All right.
If you're so financially fucked the way you're saying, right? Why are you even on your days off, I should say? Why are you even ordering food? You're going grocery shopping already. He's told us this. Just, I don't know, buy some TV dinners or whatever trash that you're fucking usually buying anyway, and just have a few of those. Apparently, you going ahead and spending this money on shit that you don't need isn't helping you. And this whole thing about, oh, it's my one day off a week, I need to relax, and shut that shit up. You make your own schedule. If you need to take a second day off, you might as well. If you know what I'm saying, if your relationship is so strenuous, and the fact that you can only spend this one day with her to do these, like, all these basically errands and chores. You're not really spending the day with her. You're just running around doing a bunch of shit with her because you're too fucking lazy to do it yourself. Apparently. That's all that is. And then you're justifying throwing all this money away, talking about, oh, it's the only day we have off, so that's why we don't cook. But you're bitching and complaining about how your bills are so crazy that you're barely able to cover, or you are covering them, but you're broke, you know what I'm saying, after the fact. Like, his story is falling apart with all this money. It's falling apart. It's just like how it happened in 2018 and in 2019 and 2020, to be honest. Like, the story just is progressively getting more and more lazy. And all he's doing is ramping up the begging in the hopes to keep you so confused that you'll just go ahead and basically give him money for whatever the day-to-day reasons that he gives you. He has no long-term thinking to this, which is what's going to end up biting him in the ass, so to speak, later on down the line.
You lose all of your liquidity. I have no credit. I have nothing to fall back on at all. Zero. It's just the income that I make from Twitch, the limited ad revenue I make from YouTube, and your tips. Like, that's what I get for income every month. And I'm not saying it's not a lot.
Teespring's dead. We all know this, so that is what that is. What about Patreon? What about Mommy and Daddy Burnell? And last time I checked, Catherine has a job. So, huh? And he's leaned on Mommy and Daddy since he moved out there. Well, he's been leaning on them his whole entire life, but certainly pretty much since he lost his job, he's been leaning on Mommy and Daddy financially. You think that's really stopped? Jesus Christ, if I remember correctly, as part of when he got married, you know, the same marriage that his parents paid for, his mother actually gave him the startup money. Let's reword that. She gave him the seed money to use for the repayment program for his taxes, which he ended up botching that anyway, which is the reason why he needed to be put on another payment plan after that. Think about that for a minute. So you have all these resources essentially around you, but yet, oh, I'm only relying on this little bit of money that you guys already know, and it's already been proven that I have, and that's it. You live with a person though, right? Your wife, your roommate, your soulmate, whatever you want to call her. She don't chip in on nothing? Nothing? Nothing at all? Is Mommy and Daddy Burnell finally broke? Are they only going off the skin of their teeth? Your father still works. So what's the problem there? And then where the fuck is Golden Colt, Planet Jeff, and the rest of them dudes? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't somebody slipping you a couple $100 behind the scenes? The Streamlabs leaderboard is still gone, as far as I know. So what's the problem? Oh well, hurtful, just hurtful.
I'm just saying I have a lot of bills that I have to pay. Big mortgage, car payment, all these taxes, and that really what it is, quite frankly, is the back taxes now are really starting to hit, because now, because I declared bankruptcy, all of that unsecured debt that I had, credit cards and all that, went away. But now I'm trying to make up for all the shit I didn't pay for like 3-4 years. You know, there's a good 2-3 years there I wasn't paying income taxes properly. And now I'm paying the income taxes plus paying the back income taxes. So all my money that I make...
income taxes and then the back income taxes. What? Wait a second. You weren't paying your state taxes. That's what the problem was. But you said he said years ago, it was in a weekend preview. He actually did a salute to it. It's actually a Snort Burnell meme. You see it popped in every once in a while, where he said that he's finally caught up on the back state taxes. Now, as for the federal, there was no reason why he shouldn't have been able to afford the federal tax back then. So that doesn't even make any sense on why he's even behind on that. So now he's saying, so now that the back state taxes, allegedly, in air quotes, is now all caught up. Hey guys, I've been skimping on my federal tax for the last like 3 years, which is ironic because I spent the last 3 years basically leaning on you guys for money to pay my taxes that for whatever reason I didn't pay. But Catherine's here, so I have hot meals being made, so to speak, so that all works out. And now that I was able to get this $140,000 in unsecured debt knocked out, now I can pay my federal taxes again. And I'm trying to pay my back federal tax. And I still got to pay my state tax, which that shouldn't even be brought up anyway, because that's part of what he's supposed to do anyway. On top of that, we were just talking about earlier about all the money he owed to Connecticut, right? He was able to pay his federal tax quarterly, just like Wings does, every quarter anyway, and never had any problems about it. He bitched, but he still paid it. So yet again, what's the problem? And right around the time that he started begging for more money, when he allegedly had this back state and occupation tax problem, he was getting more money to compensate so he could pay for it. You see what, like, you guys like kind of get what I'm saying? Like, he theoretically, since 2007, end of 2017, he was making more money to compensate for everything that he needed to do. So why did he choose to allegedly stop paying his federal tax when he was already paying it, when he already had the means to pay it? It's like, oh, I'm getting more money. Okay, I'm going to stop paying federal. I'm going to stop paying federal. I'm going to pay this back state and business occupation tax. And then I'm just going to continue to go for multiple years, not paying federal anymore. As if he was hoping that, okay, when I file for bankruptcy, maybe they'll go ahead and make that go away, along with the secure credit card debt, as if that was one and the same. Then he finds out, oh, they're not gonna wipe that off the board, so I'm stuck with that. Oh, MidFirst was fucking smart and decided to wait and see how the dust cleared. And now that I'm in a position where I can theoretically pay them back, they're sitting there catching me for this, for the HMO and everything else, knowing damn well that if they can show that Phil is showing a history of payments, then they can justify going to the court and being like, yeah, he's going to have to pay us because he's in a position that where he can pay us. He was granted this bankruptcy. Look at all the money that's on his income or on his bankruptcy filing and whatnot. Look at his income. What's the reasons that he has not to pay us? Oh no, it's almost like he's royally going to be fucked. Unless he's already working out some type of settlement with them behind the scenes. And that's what he's pumping a lot of his money into. But then that doesn't seem like to be the case because his WWE Champions usage is being ramped up. And especially since that goddamn gotcha game has like a special event like weekly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be hard to keep up. Which, by the way, just real fast. A lot of people speak on how is it possible for him to sink so much money into that game in such a short amount of time? Well, I don't know. I don't play gacha games. But by the looks of by the way it's formatted and the way that TJ Gamebox, BT9494, as well as a couple of people have spoken, like the way your status works or the way the stats work, it fluctuates literally by the day. So, do you think DSP missing a couple of days on WWE Champions could put him at a huge deficit by the weekend? Let's say this. Let's say he plays Monday, and for whatever reason, let's say the snorty fucking stars aligned for whatever reason, he had a moment of clarity, and he skipped Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By the time Friday leading into the weekend starts, literally everybody that he has could essentially be underpowered. And so when it's time to go into the next event or the next event, the next raid, whatever you want to call it, he could be at a huge disadvantage. And so you got to constantly keep pumping money into it just to keep your stats up. It's like an endless cycle. It's like a vicious endless cycle. In the same way that it is for his audience, for his fan base, for his cult, giving him money. It's just, you're just throwing money in there and knowing damn well that when you come in through the doors tomorrow, you're just going to have to continue to throw money at him because you can't win. So it's kind of like him pushing his addiction onto the audience and forcing them to kind of deal with it, while in a lot of ways instilling an addiction into them as well. Something to think about.
Is going to shit that I should have been paying previously and couldn't afford. Alright? So even though you guys see, oh wow, Phil had a great day on stream, all that money kind of gets peed away, and I love that people spin it in a negative thing and say, oh, Phil's rolling in dough, when in reality, I really don't have a lot of leeway to do much. Alright? The good news is, if I keep on track the way that things have been going, alright, and, you know, things keep going well on streams, which they have been, you know, another couple of years, I'll be paying off the back taxes that I owe. By the way, within a couple of years, my car will be paid off. Hopefully, this goddamn property will be foreclosed on. And then all those things will all hit, and those are all things I won't have to pay anymore. In which case, I'll be good. I'll actually have excess funds every month to put
WWE champions.
He's literally going to bleed them for years. Like, that's what he's doing, in an ironic sort of way. He's actually setting up the circumstances that he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna have to bleed you like this day in and day out for the next couple of years. Sorry, next few years. That's a goddamn shame. That right there should be the warning sign. But then again, there's been many of these over the years. This should be the warning sign for some of these guys to just pull out now. Just cut your losses. Just cut it. Just get the fuck out now while you can. You know what I'm saying? It's literally being on like the SS Snortanic in a lot of ways. And Phil is standing on the crew to keep himself at the rudder. Everybody else is under him drowning, and they're slowly drifting away, and he's telling more and more people to get under him to keep him propped up. While at the same time, they're still in the water drowning, trying to keep him afloat. This is amazing. Oh, and each and every year, as you go through all these begathons, the hardcore begging season, it just progressively sounds worse. I'm gonna have to make it a project, if I haven't already announced it, that we should do something here going over his begging over the last couple years, just so you could see and hear how it progressed. I'll definitely put it on the list if I haven't already. Oh my god. That's the wildest shit. But yeah, this is him living his best life. This is what people choose to defend, saying that Darkside Phil is successful. Jesus Christ.
Saving for retirement. I just can't do that right now. I actually have anxiety, strong anxiety, based off of just financial
You could have
stuff.
saved for he could have saved for his retirement back in his 20s. He had a 401k. But I mean, he cashed it out. He cashed that shit out. The chase. I'm sorry. I don't mean the. Fuck it. He cashed that shit out to chase his fucking YouTube career. Look at how this shit floundered. You're talking about someone, ladies and gentlemen, that has made almost $2 million, if not more, if not $2 million, in his entire time on the internet, and has not a goddamn thing to show for it. And when I mean he doesn't have a goddamn thing to show for it, I mean he doesn't own anything. He doesn't. He doesn't own nothing. Nothing of value. Nothing of worth. And even then, some of the shit that he has sentimental value to, or an attachment to, he doesn't even really value it. He just doesn't want anybody else to have it. This is what it is. Imagine the only thing that you value is what people think of you, and that's it. Nothing financially, nothing, no real sentiment, nothing really sentimental, nothing. You don't give a shit about anything except for what people on the internet think about you. And you have to keep hearkening or reminiscing back to like 2018 or 2008, sorry, when you thought you were something special. That's it. That's the only thing that puts one hoof in front of the other every day, and nothing else. In a profession that used to brag about how you were one of the chosen few, you were the lucky one, right? You know, you were in the right place at the right time to be able to do all this, and yet you're miserable, and it's slowly killing you. in the same way that it's slowly killing wings. You had all the opportunities within this field, if you will, in the world, and you squandered it because you guys were all chasing pennies instead of putting yourself in position to gain dollars. Imagine that. And the people who laugh at you and ridicule you do on the basis of that very thing. And the people who were there around the same time as you went on to be successful or took their money and went to do some shit in IRL. Or the people who came after you actually did learn from your mistakes and your shortcomings and went on to be bigger than you could have ever imagined. But yet you blame your shortcomings on this supposed group of people who stalk you and hate you and do all this, that, and the third, even though you were failing prior to them even coming into existence. On top of that, he already had critics back when he first started. So this hate train didn't just start. It's always been there. The only difference was, as it pertains to the FGC, with that hate train, when you finally got up and out of that, they were happy to have you gone. They didn't want you to be spoken about on their boards. They didn't want to see another thread about you. They didn't want to see anything. You were a stain on their culture, if you will, and you needed to be flushed out. The other people who didn't feel that way just felt bad for you. And there are threads where people talk about, well, the guy had potential if he could get over himself, if he get his head out of his own ass. And since we all know that DSP only fantasizes about putting shit up his own ass, I could see how that had been a problem. That's amazing when you think about it.
I have anxiety that if I go to sleep, I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to get an email from my bank saying that I was overdrafted and my bills weren't paid. I actually have nightmares about it because I was in that position for many, many years, okay?
Well, are you still in that position? Because if you're making better money and you're in the support and everything on streams and everything is great, then that shouldn't be a worry, right? So why are you dreaming about something that you've already had happen to you and you've already moved past? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just try to put this into perspective. Unless he's still dealing with it, or unless those overdraft fees are nothing more than code snorts for all the chargebacks allegedly that he's getting, which that might be what it is, because supposedly that's what he's fighting. He doesn't even talk about overdrafts anymore. He only talks about the chargebacks. I don't know, just something to think about. Maybe it's code.
It sucks. I don't even know if it's ever going to go away. It might be something that I'm haunted with my whole life because of what I went through. I've got 2 giant bills that are going to get paid by the end of this week. They usually clear around the 11th or the 12th of each month. One of them is the condo dues here where I live, and one of them is the internet bill. So these are both bills that absolutely have to be paid on time. If I don't pay the condo, I get in trouble, and the condo will come down on me hard and be like, why aren't you paying your dues on time? And the other thing, the internet bill, duh, I mean, I'm a live streamer. If I don't pay the internet bill, they turn off the internet, I can't stream. So these are essentials that absolutely have to be paid on time, okay? And I'm like, all right, just between those 2 bills.
Does he really think these people are so stupid that there aren't grace periods on your bills? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and think about this too. We didn't mind going ahead and not paying, allegedly, paying federal tax for years on end. We didn't mind doing that. But you're so worried that you have to make sure that your internet bill is paid, like, on time, like on the second or whatever it is, right? Really? Okay. I'm just curious. And here's the thing. He talks about how important the internet bill is. What about the power bill, man? Or the electric bill or whatever? The internet bill is whatever. But if you don't have any electricity going through the snort fort, not a goddamn thing is happening. Unless you're going to throw Jasper and Catherine on a fucking treadmill or some shit so they can generate it. Oh, that's right. The bike that you ordered for her is broken and you had to send that shit back. So there's no way of doing that. Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Like, $850. Like, oh my god, holy shit. So I'm comparing that to what I have in my account, and I'm thinking, okay, don't worry, because I am going to make some money on the streams coming up. Don't freak out. And then I'm thinking, but wait a minute, now tomorrow I got to go grocery shopping. Tomorrow I got, I have essentials I need to do while we're out. Pet supplies for Jasper. In fact, he's out of food this week. I got to go get him. And then I'm thinking, oh my god, I got Mario. That's coming out. on Friday, and that's another 60 bucks. I'm like, oh shit. So I got all this anxiety in my fucking head, right?
Wait.
Really
So
dumb.
it's Monday, I would assume, right? Tomorrow's his day off. There's no food in the house? The house is completely empty. Are we literally buying food just week to week? Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm sorry. It's, let me try to process this for a minute. You're telling me that there's no bread, there's no peanut butter and jelly and whatnot to put something together. You're telling me you're only buying what? 6 cans of food for Jasper? Not 6, let's say 12. Because I would hope Jasper's at least eating twice a day. So you're telling me that you're only getting Jasper, what, 6 cans or 12 cans of fucking food? Or maybe 6 cans and maybe a small bag of dry food and that's it? That's all that's sustaining Jasper for the span of a week? More or less? You're telling me that you're not buying, like, turkey, ham, chicken cold cuts, or, just lunch meats, I should say, and you can't sustain yourself on that? Like, that's the way he's trying to make that sound. Most people who go grocery shopping, you buy stuff, obviously, that you need to get you through the day and so on, through your individual day, but then you also, subliminally, is something that you really don't even think about, you buy other things that you can kind of either put in the cupboard or, bread and lunch meats or whatever to kind of patch you through. You don't have to eat these large meals and shit each and every day if you're not feeling it. Did we not plan for any of that? Okay.
Why the hell did I do this to myself at 2 in the morning? I have no idea. I should have just went to fucking sleep. But I'm not that smart, I guess. Like I said, anxiety makes you do stupid things. So I try to go to sleep. Now, of course, I can't sleep. I'm like, how am I going to make enough money to pay all my bills this week?
By eBay, right? You're constantly asking your viewers and your fans for contribution.
I basically got a really shit night of sleep. It's terrible. I'm awake, asleep, awake, asleep, awake, asleep. You ever have one of those nights where, like, now you feel, like, gross? You feel sweaty and shit because you were, like, stressed out and you're half falling asleep and you wake up and oh, God, that's what I had. I had one of those shit nights trying to sleep and, just not good, okay? So then on top of that, my wife actually woke up before me this morning. So she's around the house doing stuff. I usually get up around 9 a.m. Sometimes I get up earlier than that. Sometimes I get up later than that, depending on how I'm feeling. Typically, the average time I get up is around 9 a.m. All right? So I'm asleep. Finally, I'm asleep. Wait till you hear this. Jasper, my cat, is standing on the headboard of the bed. Okay? Something goes through his mind. I don't know what was going through his mind. This has never happened to me before. Okay? He jumps from the headboard of the bed and lands on my head. Paws first, and then his back legs, which have claws, land on my shoulder and dig into my shoulder. So I'm dead asleep, and it feels like someone has punched me in the side of the head because he landed on my head with his full force of his body, and then he cut up my shoulder. This is how I woke up this week.
You got hit with the Jasper crossbody? And then the claws of death? Or the revenge of the declawed? Jesus Christ. Jasper hit him with 2 moves at once. That's hilarious.
Morning. After having a shit night trying to sleep, I woke up, I'm like, oh my God. And my wife actually ran into the room. She's like, are you all right? I was like, I don't know.
Whoa. Okay, so 2 things. 1, he's lucky that Jasper didn't just piss in his ear. Just saying. And 2, middle of the night, you're sleeping. Catherine runs into the room to hear what's going on. Don't you mean that Catherine was supposed to be laying down there next to you? Oh no. It's almost as if the speculation is correct and you guys really do sleep in separate rooms. Oh no. But I may have misheard that though. You know what I'm saying? I'm an asshole. I tend to jump the gun a little bit and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. Let's hear that again. Shall we? Let's go back to the Jasper crossbody and then the claws of death. Let's go back to that part first. Let's go back to that part first. And then we'll hear about apparently what the sleeping arrangements are.
And lands on my head. Paws first, and then his back legs, which have claws, land on my shoulder and dig into my shoulder. So I'm dead asleep, and it feels like someone has punched me in the side of the head because he landed on my head with his full force of his body, and then he cut up my shoulder. This is how I woke up this morning after having a shit night trying to sleep. I woke up, I'm like, oh my God. And my wife actually ran into the room. She's like, are you all right? I was like, I don't know what he just did. Why did he do that to me? So now my shoulder's all messed up. And then, by the way, when he did that, I wrenched my neck. So now, not only did I get not enough sleep, my eyes are burning, I feel like shit because I was stressed out all night over fucking money, which I fucking am tired of doing and I hate. But then on top of that, I wake up, I feel terrible. My neck is killing me, my shoulder's fucked up, cut up.
Ow! Jasper! Jasper, what are you doing? You scratched me, man. Jasper,
The
come
Revenge
on.
of Jasper, ladies and gentlemen. The Revenge of Jasper. Oh. Anyway, make of the sleeping arrangement what you will. I don't know. Doesn't sound very convincing. And Jasper definitely just sounds like it's time to implement Operation We Want Our Claws Back. Operation We Want Our Claws Back. That's exactly what that shit sounds like. Jesus Christ. Like I said, he's lucky he didn't piss in his ear again, though. So, assuming that he actually has done that.
The worst is in the morning. Sometimes he'll bite my toe when I'm trying to sleep. Like, dude, what are you doing, man?
So here's the thing, guys. Like, I didn't want to tweet about this last night because the thing is, when I do this, when I tweet late night stuff, idiots like to spit it into fucking stuff. Oh, is Phil doing a late night gin drama tweet? No. The problem is that this stuff bothers me late night, and then I can't sleep. And then if I tweet about it, people want to fucking make fun of me. All right. So.
And yet you
that's
still feel impelled to actually keep doing it, or compelled to actually keep doing it, though. Amazing. Yes, if I put out that, hey guys, I've been tossing and turning all night because I don't have enough money to pay my fucking bills, people are, it's amazing, like, oh wow, people are actually gonna have something to say about that. Just like he gave that other lame ass excuse about, oh, when I made my comments about shills, I thought only the people who follow me would see the tweet. I didn't know that it was a public tweet that would go out to everybody, or anybody could see it. How many years were you on Twitter before that happened? But wait a second. But when Rich from Review Tech USA made his tweet talking about when you called your fucking fan base lazy during that that Pokemon Sun and Moon thing, you were sitting there saying, well, the people who follow him and other people who are kind of like in that vicinity or whatever are going to all see those tweets and it's going to make me look like a bad person. So you understood how Twitter worked back then, but you didn't know how Twitter worked when you made yourself look like an ass clown. Okay. I guess that makes sense, I suppose.
Tweet about it last night. I said, if I'm going to talk about it, I'll just talk about it today so that people don't fucking act like assholes to me overnight constantly because I'm just so tired. I'm just being very honest with you all right now. I'm very tired. I'm very stressed. I don't feel good today at all. I feel like shit. My cat beat me up first thing in the morning. All right? Like, today is not the day to, like, mess with me and be mean to me.
Wow, grown-ass man asking people to be nice to him. Wait a second, though. If Jasper is supposedly on the brink of starvation, I would assume he'd be a little bit aggressive. You do realize that, right, Phil? You're saying that he's out of food. So I would assume he's a little bit pissed off. Did we forget about that? Is that the case? That's not a thing? On top of that, Catherine works at a grocery store. You told me she couldn't get him a couple of fucking cans of food and shit? Like, on the way home? Or something? Or she couldn't have bought it before her shift? Or something? Alright.
You know, other days, I probably have much thicker skin and I could put up with it. Today, I'm just not feeling good. Today is not the day for that. So please, I would ask, if you're going to be here on the streams to hang out with me today, please, no sarcasm and nastiness to me. I just need you to be nice to me today. Please, just be nice to me. Someone just said, take the day off. Did you not hear everything I just said? That I don't even have enough money to pay my bills for this week, and you want me to take the day off. You are stupid.
Toxic again.
Okay, fair enough. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford to take the day off because you're apparently incompetent with your finances. Fair enough. Who the fuck are you to sit there and say, hey, man, could you guys be nice to me because I'm a fucking failure in life? And I'm going to also need you guys, I'm going to need to lean on you guys even more to make up for my financial mistakes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't dictate how people treat you, especially in your situation, the situation that you've chosen to talk about. At the end of the day, you need to just hit the ground running and hope for the best. Like the assumption that you have that you're just going to make large amounts of money on the stream, so it's going to cover all the money you already spent on bills. Something that you were already obligated to do anyway. You were obligated to pay your bills. These different businesses and or companies provided you a service. You paid them for the services that were rendered. You know, like how supposedly these people need to do that to you, except for the fact that, you know, contributions aren't mandatory. But that's semantics. That doesn't even, that's semantics. You see how that plays out? Yikes. Oh, man. It must be amazing to be a sociopath, at least every once in a while. To believe that the world owes you so goddamn much and you don't have to, like, do anything in return. It must be amazing.
Toxic again.
Specifically what's going on this week is, basically today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know, I need to raise as much as I can on streams possible. Now, I'm not going to do a special marathon fundraiser stream and shit like that. I'm just not doing it.
I prefer cheering. Please, no. I need the help with tips right now. Okay? If I don't hit the tips goals every day, I basically can't afford everything. So the first thing that gets cut would have to be Mario. Oh, now Phil's putting his content behind a paywall. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Wait, don't people still send him PSN credits or Nintendo credits or Xbox credits? And don't people still send him games or game codes? Or go through his Amazon wish list? So how does Mario need to be cut? If there's so many different ways that people could get the game for you. Doesn't he allegedly say that he can still get review copies behind the scenes? And sometimes he does. He just forgets to disclose that to you, that's all.
Tipped me $100. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our first music break, leading into the second video that will make up our broadcast. I will see you guys in just a second. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Play the game!
Warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
DSP Buzz GameStop Stocks says he wanted me to do a video where I said Mee Ree during the Machinima Rant. What does that mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the second video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Burnell, DSP. Let's see, Mee Ree meme. One of the best overall gamers in the universe, and retard is a schoolyard insult. This was published on February 10th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. Mee Ree! I was the one who ran a successful business on YouTube. Hilarious.
People say that all the time. I guess it's a reference to something that I've said previously in a video, and people make fun of me for it. But I personally don't know what the hell Mee Ree means. I guess it's one of those things that I just don't get. Mee Ree.
Ree!
I said it. I said Mee Ree. That's what I said. Mee Ree. Like, just like that. I said Mee Ree. Ree is its own meme. Mee Ree. I don't understand what you're saying. Perhaps if you had a brain cell in your head, I could understand it. But I don't. And Bug Snacks Expert. Cheers, it's from when you said I'm the one with the successful YouTube channel, Mee Ree. That's what I said. So you tell me that's what I said. So, out of nowhere, I made a video where I was talking about machinima. And I said, I'm the one with the successful YouTube channel, Mee Ree. Just like that. And you guys are talking about that today in 2021.
I'm the one who ran a successful YouTube channel. I'm surprised that never came up in one of his retrospectives, to be honest. I'm surprised a lot of those old begging videos don't come up in that retrospective.
Okay. Makes perfect sense. Very intelligent. Alright, anyway. So Ninstar Room Cheers says, it was funny because in addition to you being so upset you misspoke and didn't even catch it, you were also poking yourself in the chest with your fingertips. For reference, Ree is the sound an angry frog makes and associated with Pepe. So, I was saying...
I'm the one. I'm the one with the successful YouTube channel, Mee Ree.
Just like that. And people thought that was amazingly funny. Okay, got it. Just gotta make sure I understand these things. I'm not misunderstanding them in any way.
Oh, I gotta take a sip.
First, let's finish this front corner one if we can. What the hell?
He comes across as just like an angry old woman with a bunch of cats. Just kind of climbing around. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Holy shit. It's a shame. And I remember people used to shit on Wings a little bit when he got Rocco and I can't think of what the name of his second cat. When people used to shit on him, where he's like, "Oh, he's just another proverbial old woman who's just collecting cats because he has nothing else going in his life." I remember people shitted on Wings hard for that, but goddamn, I think Phil fits that trope a little better than Wings does.
Power just went out. Are you kidding me? My power just flickered. Everything just went off, including my PS4. You gotta be kidding me. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, you just got to see everything happen because I have a battery backup, and the battery backup is still recording. My PC's still powered, and all the power is still on. It flickered and turned everything off. I'm gonna reboot the console right now. My internet has to reboot, so people on the stream can't see anything right now. Wow. Yeah, my internet has to reboot. People watching this on YouTube, you exclusively get to see this situation of me trying to boot everything back up and see what happened.
Oh my god, he's drinking cum.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I wasn't expecting that meme to come up. But in truth, that's no different if he looks really no different in that particular position. As if he was just ranting about a game being bad, or him sitting through a cutscene. If he didn't say anything, no one would probably really know the difference, outside of the fact that the game wouldn't have been on screen. Oh well, it is what it is.
Here comes the bullshit, look out. Did anyone get eliminated? I don't know if anyone got eliminated. Oh god, that was close. Oh god, it's close. No! No, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't do anything. The fucking thing screwed up. Yeah, he just fell over for no reason. Again, it's the physics of the game. It's not me. I didn't jump. I was just walking normally, and my guy falls over. No one grabbed me. I didn't touch anything. My guy falls over. This is what happens with the physics of this game when there's too many people in a close proximity. All of a sudden, it just kind of goes random, and you can just fall over and die. It's really stupid. Son of a bitch! Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Alright, fuck this. Oh my, I give up. I'm done. I can't get up! Wow. I got completely owned. I got completely and utterly owned. 100% owned. Wow. That was epic fail, epic proportions of fail right there, seriously.
I suck!
Well, Eugene Shun says that they love me. Well, feelings not mutual, however. I do enjoy people on my streams having fun and hanging out, so thank you for the cheers. I don't love you, though. I'm sorry, I don't love you.
Oh my god. This is not going so well. How many points do I even have? I don't even know. Eliminated. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know how many points you need. I don't know how many I'm scoring. I had no idea what was happening. I keep trying to jump to get into the center hole. It won't let me. It like drops my jump. I guess I'm going too fast. There we go. Did it count? I still didn't qualify? How many points do I have? It doesn't... Is it not counting? How many points did I... It never showed any points on the screen. Right? It doesn't show points. So I don't know what I'm getting. You need 15? Oh, I thought that was how many people had qualified. I didn't know that's how many points I had. Oh. Okay. I totally misunderstood it.
I'm the worst gamer on the planet.
Now, Well, I do better on slime climb than I did
I
last
for
time.
one
Last time
I for one, I'm sorry, is actually happy that he's starting to go back and play Fall Gout. To be honest, I think it's. I'm actually pretty happy about it. He when he rages, it's actually amusing, and when he fails and he can kind of laugh at himself, whether it's forced or not, it's still kind of funny. So I think it's a win-win for the most part. You're talking about a game, right? That supposedly esports actually wants to build a community, around, but it's basically just a game for children, and we're failing at it. We're just failing at it miserably. But at the same time, if he's just having a good time, he ain't treating that shit seriously, then it is what it is. But when he rages over the dumb shit, it's even more hilarious.
Pretty embarrassing. Oh my god. I can't beat slime climb anymore. I can't use the shortcut, it's always timed wrong. And I don't know, I can't do it anymore. I am completely out of water, I gotta go get some more, so. Alright, I'll be right back, guys, I'm just gonna go grab some water, okay? Oh no! Oh no! Oh! That is difficult. No, because there's big gaps. There's big gaps, it's pretty challenging. Alright. Son of a bitch. Alright, beige vest tonight. Let me go get the beige vest.
Remember the bubbles? I have the bubbles. If we win a match, I have the bubbles. We haven't won. It's meant for celebratory things. We haven't won yet. I lose. I keep losing. Do I believe I'm one of the best overall gamers in the country? I'm one of the best gamers in the universe. In the fucking universe. Right? Out there on the Little Dipper, there's some kid that thinks he's better than me. Fuck that. I am one of the best. Take that shit. Any moment, I can pick up a controller and I can play any game at professional level.
Oh, I was so close. I slipped. Oh, this guy. Fuck, man. This guy just cost me. Basically cost me the match. There's no way I'm gonna be able to qualify now. Yeah. That sucks.
Final reminder, guys, if you want to help me out, please tip me. I need to raise as many tips as possible the next few days to pay bills and afford Mario on Friday. Today has been outstanding for support. I appreciate that. I hope this can keep up on Wednesday and Thursday. But the more you tip me overall, the more it's going to help me regardless to get past this week. So thank you very much.
How's the predictions going tonight? What's the prediction for this match here? Yeah, look, I'm gonna die now. It's their fault. I can't get up. Yeah, that's not my fault. It's because they're walking into me. If they would stay away from me, I'd fucking be fine, but they bump into you and you lose. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I think that stage is the least fun of any of the stages in the whole game, because there's nothing you can do. If someone's an idiot and they jump into you, you're going to die. There's nothing you can do. You cannot control your fate.
There's the salt. The delicious salt.
Wow, I give up. I can never do this one. Wow.
But to be honest, though, he wasn't going to skip Mario anyway. He's ever since Mario had started that initiative back in the day, where they were going to cut in and get a piece they were going to get a piece of whatever your YouTube revenue was, unless you were, under a managed partnership with Machinima, where essentially you could steal your money back or whatever the case may be. He's had a hard on for trying to get over on Nintendo ever since, which is really sad, to be honest with you. But also, him holding games hostage or saying that, hey, if you guys don't come through, I won't be able to get this game. Didn't he go into a small little bitch fit and almost cried over, what was that? Dragon Age Builders 2 or some shit? He had a small segment about that, where he was crying and complaining about he couldn't afford the game, and if they don't come through and support him, he wasn't going to be able to buy it on that Friday or that Tuesday or whenever it was. So it's not like something that he hasn't done before. I can't think of what the game was, though, where it had like the rats and everything. It was like a religious-based game or whatever, where he sat there and pulled this scam, essentially, for like a week or whatever the case may be, and ended up getting like $570 out the deal. It was insane how he pulled that off. He never was able to duplicate that, but that was probably the peak of scamming at that point. That was insane how he pulled that off. And still threatened not to play it, even though he got all the money for it. Amazing.
I can never do this one. I seriously can never, I can't pass this one. I suck at it, man. That one is the bane of my existence. I have not won a single match, no bubbles, guys. The bubbles were denied tonight. I've only got enough time for like 1 to 2 more tops, and the bubbles have been completely denied tonight. No bubbles. None. Alright. Oh my god.
No. Easy peasy win. What? It didn't work. It didn't work. You gotta be kidding me. I jumped and pressed the button and it didn't work.
It didn't work. I jumped and pressed the trigger and he didn't grab the crown. It acted like I never pressed it. That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. I was 100% ahead of everyone and the trigger didn't work. Oh my god. Come on. I mean, I still earned the crown anyway because I leveled up, but that was bullshit. 100% outplayed everyone. Played it perfectly, jump, trigger, nothing. No, I'm not gonna delete it.
Anyway, I don't know if there's anything else funny here. Let's listen more.
So that should be your next fun game to play, you dumb fucks. So thanks a lot for the views, you stupid fucking retarded morons.
Ho ho ho!
I love it when I
There you
fool
go.
all of you into being fucking idiots like you are, and you basically pay me for nothing.
So there you go. Something that again I would not.
I like how he
say
said. I like how he said, "You guys basically pay me for nothing." I like how Phil looked at his content back then, and a lot of the ways that he does now, and sees that it's actual shit and it doesn't have any value to it. That's hilarious. Well played, Phil. Well played.
Hey, I almost said it yesterday and I stopped myself. But you see, there you go, a decade ago.
There we
saying
go.
Stuff like that.
I actually had to look the name up of the game real fast. It was A Plague Tale. That's the one he ended up getting like $570 for or some shit. Because he threatened not to be able to play it for like a week or whatever the case may be. And got the money, but it still said that he was probably not going to play it. He eventually did, but he held that shit hostage massively. Jesus Christ, that was probably one of his most successful licks, I think, when it comes to con jobs like that. At least since the Patreon scams back in the day.
Which obviously I would not do today. And again, I said this yesterday too. Back in the day, when I was a kid, saying that word, which I don't say anymore, was something that was commonplace. That was a schoolyard insult. That was accepted as something that's okay to say to a kid, to just insult them and say something stupid. No one took offense at it. There was no movement of, oh my God, you've insulted a group of people who actually have that affliction. And it was just like a normal thing. And then over time that changed to be, that's actually very offensive to say that. So 10 years ago it was something that would just come off my tongue every 5 seconds. And then yesterday during a stream, I almost said it. I was like, oh, had to stop myself. Like, dude, it's there. It's ingrained in the back of my head from when I was a kid saying it like a schoolyard insult. I can't say that anymore, you know?
Wow. Well,
Obviously,
first off, as a grown-ass man, why do you feel the need to insult people over stupid shit in the first place? Secondly, I thought you've matured. You're a better person now. You're a better streamer. You're a better content creator. And you've tried so very hard to to push away, I should say, those negative aspects of yourself in your early YouTube days to be, a much more appropriate content creator. But apparently that's all bullshit, like everything else he says. And in turn, he will revert back to what he is at his basic form, I guess. Which is a piece of garbage at the end of the day. If someone says anything to him that he perceives as an insult, his natural reaction is to just go ahead and essentially insult them back. Just like why he got kicked off of Twitch that one time when someone made a small joke in the chat. That could have just easily have gone under the radar and no one give a fuck. But no, Phil had to go over his name. He either hovered over it or he clicked on it, saw what the guy looked like, and then started making fun of his appearance. Because that's the kind of spiteful piece of shit that he is. And then had the nerve to get mad that Twitch ended up kicking him off without notifying him first. And then Phil sucked however much dick he had to suck to get back on the platform anyway from what was an indefinite suspension. So keep that in mind. So keep that in mind. Phil's not a good person. At the end of the day, he's as spiteful and as vengeful as anybody else. It's what he is. At the end of the day, it's what he is. Same thing with Wings. Wings, at least with, like, when you think about people like Low Tier God and some others, fucking Chantel is actually a good example too. They're spiteful, mean ass people and they don't hide that shit. You know what I'm saying? They may go ahead, like, I'll say that Chantel tries to fucking shield herself on bullshit like her weight at times, but it is what it is. She's gonna have to take whatever she has to take. But at least they're upfront with that dumb shit for the most part. People like DSP and Wings, they try to hide behind all kinds of different situations. Like, oh, if I was still popular, people wouldn't treat me like this. The more popular you are, the more than likely someone's gonna shit on you. It's just, it is what it is. Like, you just have to accept it. The little safe spaces that he's kind of talking about here is one of the very things that he wants, that a lot of those people want. They want to be able to say whatever they want to say to other people or about other people and don't want nothing said back to them. If that's the case, then why the fuck are you even up here? If that's the case, why would you subject yourself to this shit for all these years? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to sit there and laugh that Logan Paul's fucking parachute almost didn't open, right? But then get mad when people fucking clown you for being a fucking failure and had to file for bankruptcy. There's a difference.
If I say that word, I don't intend the meaning behind it. It's just like a generic insult to me, you see? There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me. It's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Still has indoctrinated children.
Oh boy. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, wait till you guys see the next one that comes up. This is gonna be good. All right, small music break, and then we go into video 3. Yay! I'll see you guys in just a second.
Go for it.
See right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
The weird thing that's hilarious to me is these dumbass haters took what I said on one day and said, oh, this is all because of Phil's taxes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, when did I ever say my issue is taxes? It's not at all. It couldn't be further from the truth. I just need to pay the stuff.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the third video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Burnell, DSP. Let's see. I never said that I had to pay taxes. A bribe for Jasper, and many content creators don't pay their taxes correctly. Okay. Because Phil knows what everybody else is doing, right? This video was published on February 11th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. Oh boy. I never said anything to you guys about taxes at all. I didn't. Just like I didn't tell you that Jasper didn't have any food, right? I never said that either. Let's go.
For the next week. yeah, I just need to pay this stuff for the next week. I don't even know what you're talking about. Taxes. Like, this is nothing to do with taxes. Why would they even say that? Like, again, what it is, last few years, I've had a lot of issues financially with taxes and everything behind the scenes. There's actually been a few times when taxes hit me unexpectedly over the last few years, and I had to do, like, tax fundraiser streams and things like that. So to them...
So then it really wasn't behind the scenes if you brought it to public light then, right? Just saying? Just like how you thought your bankruptcy filing was never going to come out, like it wasn't a public document or anything? Like that too, right? Okay, just making sure.
Black and white, you know, they see the world as black and white, they're complete idiots. They think if anything's going wrong, it must be taxes. No, not at all, actually. In fact, this year coming up should be a much better year for me.
He just told us that he's paying his taxes, and he still owed on his back tax. He told us this. But it's not at all. That's not the issue. That's not the problem. Okay. It's so good.
Tax-wise, you know, the last couple of years, either I paid nothing at all in taxes or I paid very little, and then those taxes ended up going on a back tax plan that I've now been paying on a monthly basis. Well, this last year...
So basically, you admitted that you're just not paying your taxes. I owed nothing or I owed very little, and whatever I do owe just goes on my back to state taxes, which means you're just not paying your taxes, basically. Kind of, sort of.
Actually start regularly paying taxes again for the first time in many years that I could afford it. So I'll still owe. I mean, I can't imagine that I don't still owe money to the government. That'd be pretty ridiculous, knowing the way the taxes work.
It's pretty ridiculous that, granted, we don't know exactly what he owed for his state and business occupation tax, but it couldn't have been so immountable that he couldn't fucking pay his federal tax to, or he couldn't put something towards his federal tax. That doesn't make any sense. And especially when the real financial drain at that time, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't back state and business occupation tax. It was moving Catherine from Michigan to Washington State. That was the real financial burden. And then getting her set up for everything too, while that was all going on. Which calls in the question, did this chick really even have a job when she moved over there? Because he was talking about, I mean, he introduced us to her in one of many ways as the second income. But then the chick didn't go to work for like a month or two because they had to run around and grab her all this stuff and whatnot, which is ironic because if she still had the job when she left Michigan, theoretically she would still have some of that. She would still have some of those things that was needed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe her uniform changed slightly if she was working for the exact same company. Yeah, maybe it would change slightly from state to state. I'm sure everybody has their different policies or whatever the case may be per store, I guess. But I don't think it was that much off the mark. He made it sound like, and it certainly seemed that way to some extent, that she was literally starting from scratch and they had to buy her everything from the ground up. That's kind of what it seemed like. Oh well.
But it's certainly not going to be some exorbitantly large amount like I've owed in the past, and maybe I'll be able to afford it, maybe I won't if I can't afford it. I'm sure whatever I can't afford, they'll wrap into the back tax plan. It's actually not that big of a deal anymore. So I don't even know what they're talking about. Like, they just make shit up.
How is you not owing back taxes not a big deal? You should want to go through life as best as possible, not owing anybody anything. But you being multiple years behind in taxes is not that big of a deal? Okay, I guess, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, though, too, there are companies, there are businesses, real businesses, that don't pay their taxes for 7 years anyway. Like, every 7 years, they choose to pay their taxes in one big-ass lump sum. So, that's a thing, but whatever.
Stream chat today on Twitter, they're coming in and insulting me about taxes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? When did I ever even say that? Never. They just make shit up. That's how they are. They just completely fabricate shit. Very, very confusing how dumb these idiots are, but... Anyway, yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't really care about that shit. It's just stupidity. So anyway, guys, please, if you can today, please tip me. Tomorrow, if you can, please tip me. I need to get through, these 2 days, hit the tips goals, and if we do, then I should be able to afford everything this week, and we should be good. If not, then I can't afford the stuff this week, and I won't be good, quite frankly. It'll set me back, which would really suck.
Doesn't matter. You're already behind anyway. And two, if you can't afford everything, guess what? You're going to have to make some sacrifices. And that's really what it comes down to financially, is he doesn't want to be at a disadvantage. Let's scratch that, because that wouldn't be truthful. He doesn't want to be able to move the way he wants to move. The money that he's essentially begging for is something to his own benefit. It's not what he's obligated to do. It's what he wants to do. And it's very clear. It's a very clear and it's a very clear situation. It's a very clear motive, I should say. He's you know what I'm saying, he's pretty transparent. It's pretty transparent what he wants. So I don't see what the issue is. And yet again, I guess it's the difference between having 3 meals, delivered to you. It's the difference between having 3 meals delivered to you and maybe 1 or 2, and then you guys have to make sandwiches or some shit. It's literally that small. It's literally that small. But if you go through life believing that people owe you for every little thing, for every little snort that you fucking send out there, then you could probably understand it. Maybe.
I want to be able to be ahead of the game, paying everything I owe, and play Mario on Friday, right? Alright, so before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about my day off, because people always ask me about stuff about my day off. So for the first time in, let's see, 3 months, over 3 months, since our state locked it down yet again. I think it was either October or November, I can't even remember. But our state had locked it down for COVID regulations again because our COVID numbers went up. And so all the businesses were closed except for retail.
Actually, that's actually a great point by Snort Burnell. Instead of sitting there going off to all these restaurants, you could have used that money to buy Mario. And he needs Mario, right? Right. Because that's part of his business. It's the ingredients for him to make his work of art so he can profit off of. So you would rather fill your gullet for one day instead of making money off of Mario that would go for weeks or months. Sounds like a mature adult to me.
Finally, over the last week, everything opened up again. My wife and I were able to go to one of our favorite little kind of like it's like a brunch nook. And what I mean by that is a very small business, very small restaurant that only does breakfast and lunch. And we were actually really enjoying this place for a while before COVID. And then it got closed down for COVID. And we were ordering from it for a while for delivery. But let's be honest here. When you order stuff for delivery versus when you have it fresh, it's not as good. And quite frankly, it also sucked because I know during the COVID, outbreak, these guys were probably suffering huge and they didn't have half the stuff on the menu. You'd order it, they'd be like, oh, we don't have it. Or at one point they had like these really good French fries that were seasoned. All of a sudden they went to like generic frozen plain French fries. And it's because during the pandemic, what do? You gotta cut corners, right? So we were very happy to finally be able to go there again for the first time in months and sit down and have a brunch together. And my wife got a omelet and I got a club sandwich. Actually was going to get a pastrami sandwich, but they said we don't have corned beef right now.
We went out and bought shit that we could have made at home. And since Catherine, at least it's assumed that Catherine's the only one that really knows how to cook in that house. Actually, it's not even assumed. That's definitely for sure. She couldn't put an omelet together. You guys are already going out grocery shopping anyway, and you couldn't put a sandwich together, Mister. I was eating turkey burgers like day in day out for like weeks on end when fucking Panda left my ass. Not even weeks, months. Okay. All right. No problem. And then you said that, oh, well, they couldn't get us these seasoned fries. They went to the frozen one. Maybe the person that does their distribution, maybe they had a shortage themselves. So they had to do what they had to do, which yet again goes back to the point that he tried to make. But if you delve a little bit deeper, it makes a little bit more sense than them, oh, they're just being cheapskates. That's not necessarily the case. And with that club sandwich, let's make some assumptions here because that's what I do, right? How do you think the quality of the sandwich meat there was top notch, as if everything was open and running as normal, or you don't think they didn't skip on you there too? You didn't think that far, huh? All right.
Because of the pandemic, we have to cut corners, and basically not a lot of people get the corned beef, so we can't even make you a pastrami sandwich. I was like, all right, I'll take the club sandwich. It was very good. We were very happy, and the thing is, it's a local business. We wanted to support local business, not a giant chain that was going to be fucking fine during the pandemic. We wanted to actually go out and say, first opportunity to go somewhere and support something that has been hurting seriously in the last year, and that's exactly what we did.
So is that how you justify using these people's tips to like help you get through your day-to-day expenses? Is that, oh, well, I used your money to go and eat out at a local business that really needed the financial support, despite the fact that you had admitted to us that you had ordered through them before for home delivery, but it's not as good, right? Then why order at all? What's the point of that, really? And if it's about supporting the local business, order something that would hold up over the period of time from when they make it to when it comes to you. And you're supposedly, your finances, right, and your income is so tight, but you can afford to go out and do that each and every week. That makes sense. That's a thing. Okay. All right. Sure.
But they recognize us. Because, like I said, we used to go there all the time. And then we stopped going there because we couldn't go there anymore. So they actually know us. And by the way, we felt awful. We went in there. It was empty. The entire place was empty. They had a couple to-go orders, but they were, like, dead. And I was like, this sucks. This place used to be happening. This place used to have people in here all the time. The food was highly rated online. Like, everything was good. And now this place is dead to a crawl because of fucking COVID. And you gotta wonder, when you go into a place like that, are they even gonna be able to stay open? How long can they operate on limited to no income, bleeding money, before they're gonna end up going out of business? And it sucks because they're so good. Like, I tell you, I order a club sandwich.
In a lot of ways, there's some projection here because he kind of talks that way about himself, too. I put out a great product. You guys seem to like it, but I'm in these financial straits, and I don't know how long I'm going to keep my business going if you guys don't support me. Think about it.
Huge. This thing is like enough for 2 meals, and they couldn't finish it. It was too much.
I love the red meat. All right.
You know, same thing with my wife's omelets. Like, giant omelet, everything fresh made. You know, amazingly good. They actually have this really good homemade potato salad that they make. And I always, when we go there, I don't get fries. I get the potato salad. Like, oh my god, it's so good.
If that's the case, then why were you bitching about those seasoned fries in the beginning of this? If I don't order the fries, I always get the potato salad. Wow. Literally putting this story together on the fly and not doing very good at it.
I mean, I feel terrible. I feel like I really am afraid they're gonna go out of business for no fucking good reason. So it sucks. Alright, it does. It sucks. But anyway, felt good about supporting a local business, having something that we hadn't had in a long time. It was nice. And, you know, we went out, we did a lot of stuff. Had to get some stuff for Jasper. And while we were getting him his essentials, they had these new thing that at the pet store. I think it was called, like, protein puffs. So we're looking at it, and it actually looks like small Cocoa Puffs for your cat. But it's not cocoa, it's salmon flavor, right? So we bring these home thinking, it's another treat, he's finicky, he might not like it. He fucking loves these things. You put one down, he sniffs it, he immediately puts it in his mouth, chomp, chomp, like eating a Cocoa Puff. And then he chases you around the house. If you have the bag of the treats, he chases you around the house because he likes it so much. He's like, can I have another one? Can I have another one? And he's never like that. He's never like that at all.
How long has he said he's had Jasper again? And in all this time, he's never provided snacks to Jasper at all? And funny enough, around this time, because I think it was on an LSB stream, LSB actually had recommended that maybe Phil should buy Jasper treats or snacks or whatever the case may be to, you know what I'm saying, just to have something, just to kind of calm him down a little bit, right? To make it this way he's not running around chewing on wires and you got to spray shit all the time. So but then again, we know Phil kind of watches some of LSB stuff anyway, though, and whatnot, and he definitely has people that are spying in his chat. So I guess that kind of makes sense how all this ended up happening the way it did. It's kind of funny though.
So it's like this must really be something that he enjoys. It must taste great to him, you know. We gotta be careful, of course. Can't give a cat treats constantly. So maybe give him a couple. What we'll do, if he does something good or if he behaves, then we'll give it to him as a reward. Because that's the way you do it with cats. With cats, you can't.
Well, that's the way you do it with pets in general. But yet again, you've had Jasper this long and you're just now getting him treats? Okay. Alrighty then, I suppose.
You need to do positive reinforcement. So if a cat is doing something good, is behaving, is doing something, you know what I mean, doing something good, nice and cute or whatever, and you want to reinforce that behavior, then you give them a treat. But you can't really punish a cat when it's doing something bad. It's been proven that they don't really learn that way. So we'll see, you know, hopefully this will be a good way to reward him when he's doing good stuff. So Jasper munching on the Cocoa Puffs, so there's salmon puffs. Munching on salmon puffs. Just trying to think if there's anything else no, probably not. Nothing really major or anything that happened yesterday. Like I said, we spent the first half of the day out doing our essentials. Grocery shopping and doing all that stuff. And then we came home, And the second half of the day, what I had to do is I had to sit down and print out a bunch of forms for my tax guy that Kat and I have to sign off on because they're going to prepare our taxes for the year. And we have to sign off on all this shit in order for them to do it. And I had to upload a bunch of information and shit. It's like, pretty annoying. I didn't want to have to do that on my day off, but it was the only time when Kat and I were kind of around together and not strapped for time where I could do all that stuff. So, I'm still not done with my tax prep. As you guys know, I've been talking about it for like a week and a half. I'm still not done. I still have more data I have to get together. Probably most people who are doing streaming and YouTube content creation are not paying their taxes correctly. Because there's so many ways you can try to get around it that is not good.
Yet again, this is coming from someone who doesn't pay his taxes at all. And he admits to that. But we can criticize other people on how they're not paying their taxes, which is actually even more ironic because I think before or around the time that he told us about the back state and business occupation tax, he had also gone into a small diatribe about how he didn't think streamers or content creators were paying their taxes correctly. And then he ends up getting hit with the fact that he hasn't been paying his taxes at all, and he owed all this money. And that the guy back in Connecticut, this guy who was a professor, who ran his own business, who spent 30 years in the field doing taxes, ended up fucking his taxes over. A coincidence, I'm sure.
Not trying to get around anything. Everything that I make is reported as income, and I pay taxes on all of it. But I could just imagine people saying, oh, I stream and I only made $1,000 on streaming this year. That must not be enough to pay taxes on. Nope, wrong. Wrong. If you are actively trying to dodge paying taxes by hiding income, not reporting income, or, doing things you know are wrong, as in, oh, I'm actively telling you to send me a tip one way so I don't pay taxes on it, that is actually felony tax evasion. That is a major crime you will go to jail for. So, yikes. Again, I can only imagine. That's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to, like, the tax code in the United States and how people pay their taxes. That's why this time of year, I'm sure, is incredibly stressful for quite a lot of people, including me. It's a pain in the butt. I hate putting time into this, but you gotta do it. Okay? You just got to. You gotta do the right thing.
Give me your money.
But as I've already explained on this pre-stream, in the short term, I really need your help with tips because I need to get through this week. I have 2 large bills to pay, and I want to be able to afford Mario for Friday. So,
if it's true that Phil wants money so he can get his wife a Valentine's Day gift, for her birthday, didn't he beg for money up to that point so they could, go out and get a nice dinner or some nonsense, and he ended up taking her to Sonic's? So, that's nothing new. Which is funny because weeks prior to that situation, they had gone out for like $30 bowls of ramen or some shit. It may not have been $30, but whatever. So he could have taken her out to a really nice restaurant or something. You know what I'm saying? Or at least a moderately nice restaurant. Instead, he decided to just get her Sonics. Because what? I think he was irritated that day for some dumbass reason. I can't remember what it was. And he ranted on stream about it. Wow. That's how you treat your soulmate. That's how you do it.
If you are going to contribute at this time, please tip me. Alright? I really need help with tips. I need to hit the tips goals today, tonight, tomorrow, in order to make ends meet this week, alright? And just so you know, I can't give details because these are 2 people who actually wanted to remain anonymous. There were 2 people who actually did send me tips during my day off to try to help with this week's situation, but they did prefer to remain anonymous. They wanted to support and basically said they had not made it to Monday streams to help out, but they wanted to help out kind of behind the scenes, so I did receive 2 anonymous tips behind the scenes, and I do want to say thank you to those people, despite the fact that they requested not to have their identities given or anything like that. I just want to say thank you for that. Behind the scenes, that is very much appreciated.
Wait, first off, there's a bunch of people who tip him or send him bits behind the scenes. Everybody knows that. Why these 2 particular people in general? How much did they give you? Because he's not telling us that. If he doesn't want those people don't want their names out there, that's understandable. That is what it is. But but what is the incentive for him to bring that up? That's like the dumb shit he said where, when Catherine was just moving in, or getting ready to move in, I should say. He was like, she had no social media presence. She didn't want to be involved with any of his stuff. She just wanted to have a life with him, and that was more than enough, and that's all she cared about, and that was it. And then, like a week or 2 later, oh, well, she wants me to talk about her a little bit more and make sure that she is known to all of you. She wants to you know, she wants to make sure that you guys realize that she is a presence in my life, and that she is very pivotal to me in the business in a lot of ways, second income and all that nonsense, and that she might come up on stream. Does anybody remember that line of bullshit he pulled? Wonder what that's going to turn into.
Thanks for the money, dummies.
Alright, continuing on. Let's see here. Bleach number 9 has tipped me $1. He says, why was I banned? I was razzing you. I'm a positive stream regular. I have no idea, Bleach number 9. Why was Bleach number 9 banned? Who banned Bleach number 9 and what happened? He mocked me for maxing 13 credit cards? Well, that's fucked up. Why would he do that? Why would you make fun of me for maxing out 13 credit cards? It sounds pretty stupid that you would do that, doesn't it? It certainly does.
I mean, as stupid as it sounds to max out 13 fucking credit cards and have nothing to show for it. That's a thing too. And that's matter of fact, let me try to further push this home. Because a lot of the stuff that you see in his office was bought through Patreon money. That was not stuff he was putting on credit cards to pay for and shit like that. So yet again, where did all that money go? Where did it go to? It didn't go to the car outside. He don't own that. It didn't go to Catherine's car, Subaru. She wasn't really in the picture for any of that shit. Because they got married in April. He files for bankruptcy in October or November of that same year. So she's really not at fault for any of that. How many trips did he really take? You know what I'm saying? That he threw on credit card like that and carried over for multiple months, if not years. But even still, you got nothing to show for it. And then with all the YouTube videos he put out documenting all of those trips and everything, you would have thought he at least broken even. Apparently that wasn't the case. So yet again, where'd the money go?
So that's probably what happened, Bleach. There's your answer. I hope that's sufficient for you. I don't know why you would do that. Perhaps you should contact the moderator who banned you and say, oh man, I'm an idiot. I'll never do that again. That was incredibly stupid for me to do. I can't believe I'm so dumb. Man, I really want to be a part of this stream, and I'm sorry for trying to be negative. And then maybe you'll get unbanned. Maybe. I don't know. Right? Brownie Crab and Shits Cheers says, does it get tired of having to mediate your chat and fights that occur in your chat like a teacher or fatherly figure? Yes. Admittedly, yes. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to stream a game, to have fun and talk with you guys, and you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to try to fucking be a hall monitor, breaking up fights in the hallway and people picking on each other and shit. It's so dumb. It's such immature nonsense, and the fact that I have to put up with this shit is pretty ridiculous. But when you have a free and open stream like I do and anyone can attend, that means that anyone could pretty much, you know, cause drama for others, and it's kind of, it goes hand in hand with it. There's not much you can really do about it. You know what I mean? Then I'm not curious, can we see you masked up? No, because being masked up is not a laughing matter. It's not something to be taken lightly. And it's not something that I'm going to put, oh, look, here's my mask. I'm going to mask up on stream. No, it's not funny, and I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. Quick reminder, everyone.
Sounding more and more like a Karen each and every day.
Today's day 2 out of 3 days where I need to hit the tips goals. Every stream. In order to not only pay my bills this week, but to afford Mario on Friday. Alright? I really need the help. If you could please help me today by tipping me, I would appreciate it. Right now we're at $11 in tips. It's a good start. By the end of today's stream, around 4 p.m., I hopefully will hit the tips goal.
I told you guys I'd be happy just to stream without having any contributions. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Feel like
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will go into take a small break, and then we'll go into video number 4, where Mario apparently is being held hostage. I mean, isn't being held hostage. Should be fun. I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, so funny, so funny.
warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
In regards
We
to...
will see. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the fourth video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Snort Burnell, DSP. Mario isn't a hostage. Yeah, it is, but whatever. All right, Mario isn't a hostage. Hardcore begging season 2021 rant. Money doesn't exempt you from the rules, which is subjective. This was published on February 12th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. Poor Mario. More of that Italian on quarter Italian crimes, I guess. What are you going to do?
Tonight's goal. Yes, the tips goal is in effect, $100, and I need to hit this tips goal tonight. If I don't, guys, I'm in trouble. Like I said, if we hit all the tips goals from now until through tomorrow, that means I should be able to not only pay all the bills I need to pay this week, but afford Mario for Friday, okay? So we've been doing really good. We did it on Monday, we did it so far today. If we can hit the tips goal tonight, we'll be in an amazing position, and we just gotta do it one more day, and we're good to go. Thank you so much for all the support so far. Biggest Kobe fan, thank you for the cheer. I'm not derailing the stream talking about that stupid fucking mobile game, because I don't give two fucks about it. People are so dumb. Same goddamn conspiracy theories for a year. Haven't gotten anywhere proving shit. Because it doesn't exist, because it ain't real. So, fuck all them. I'm not talking about it tonight, but thank you for the cheer.
Finally, some water instead of Jane's flavored seltzer water. This shocks me for my local grocery store.
Now, that's interesting because he used to, if any of you guys remember, back in like 2016, 2017, especially, that's when I remember seeing a lot of it. He used to drink seltzer water in a can. Not sure if it's made by the same brand or whatnot, but he was doing that for a really, really long time. I can't remember what the reason was. It doesn't really even matter, I guess, at this particular point. But he used to do that a lot. And then he ended up moving to, I think he ended up moving to Mountain Dew Kickstarters. Then he ended up moving to like the what are those, Minos or whatever it is, where you just pour the liquid into the bottled water and shake it up. I think he still drinks those every once in a while. And then he was just drinking tap water out of his bathroom faucet, because that's always a thing. And that's a smart thing to do. And now he's jumped back to this. Oh, on top of the multiple bottles of water he used to drink as well, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, where he went into a fucking rant about how he couldn't buy his El Cheapo bottled water, in his words, because there was a pandemic going on and people were scared and were trying to stock up on fresh water. Imagine that. When in actuality, he could have just bought that shit in bulk and just had a stack of it laid in his office. So it's always there when he needs it, because it's going to be warm by the time he drinks it anyway. Thinking ahead.
My wife recommended it. She's been getting it. And so I tried it. I was like, wow, it's not that bad. Figured I'd do something different tonight rather than just bottled water. Because I do have filtered water, but very little. This is what was left over from the first stream.
I love it. I love it. Oh, check out a spy plane. Oh, come on! I was doing a spy plane, that ain't right. You don't hit me with a fucking throwing knife when I'm doing a spy plane, you bitch. Come on. That's completely against the rules of etiquette. What? No. That's not how real war works. When I unload a full clip into your chest, you die. You don't get to hit me with a melee attack that insta-kills me, you unrealistic piece of trash game. What a stupid fucking game. That was incredibly stupid.
Give me some of the salt. Give me that salt.
Now, I know we make fun of the faces he makes when he eats and so on and so forth, but like, does he have like bad teeth or something? Or does he have an issue with his teeth? I don't think he's ever mentioned it. Because, like, he makes it seem like it's absolutely painful to chew. I'm being serious, too. I'm not trying to make fun of him or anything for that. But, I mean, that's something he should really check out, because that can lead into other problems if you have issues with your teeth. God damn, Phil. I mean, it's already been speculated that you're falling apart, but Jesus Christ. There's so many signs that have been probably overlooked for various reasons. Hurtful. Just hurtful.
Hey, dude, I did knife 3 times! 3 fucking times in front of him, the game refused to swing it. 3 times I pressed the fucking right thumbstick, right in his face, nothing. What a great game. Are you shitting me? Full auto into his head and half the bullets don't fucking register. Yeah, it's a bad connection for sure. It's a bad connection for sure. They're out of their minds. There's no fucking way. Oh, this guy gets me killed. What a great genius player. Got them both. Hello. Oh, I missed. I missed. I was slightly too far away. Look, behind me.
So much cherry juice is getting spilled for no reason. What happened to the etiquette in the Gout of War? I thought we knew better about stuff like this. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. I wonder why he forces himself to play this. I don't know if the numbers are that much better than like Street Fighter or anything. It must be, I guess, because he was playing this shit like twice a week. I don't even know if the contributions are that much better. I feel like he's just forcing himself to play it. And we all know that never works out. Yeah, he deserved that. He deserved that. That was hilarious. Like, you forgot there was an arch to this shit? Did you forget that wherever your fucking your crosshairs are is where, you know, whatever your item or your bullets are gonna go? Jesus, Phil.
Fucking shit! God damn it, I fucked up.
I think in general, overall, I have improved as a gamer over the years.
I don't know where the fuck they are. Oh my god. Yeah, we're fucked. The spawns are staggered now, so we're fucked. We'll never catch up.
I mean, yet again, why is he using that? Why is he using that scope? Because he's obstructing his line of sight and shit. Like, go to a reflex or something. You clearly, it's not helping you. First off, secondly, you can't see on two different fronts. So that's a problem in itself as well. I can't guarantee that if he goes to a like reflex or whatever, he'll do better. But Jesus Christ, he probably couldn't do any worse. Like, in that, if you're going to have a scope like that, then you should be playing the ranged game, and you're not doing that. You're obviously trying to run around. Trying to run and gun, I should say. And you're not good at that. You're not good at being a point man. You're not good at being an entry man. So you shouldn't be doing that. You should be playing the role of an AR and playing from a distance. Or playing to your strengths. If you have any, of course. It's debatable whether he does.
Look at that! Point blank, I unload the entire clip into the guy's body. Only like one bullet even registered. It's complete stupidity.
You're not a real gamer.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would really appreciate if you guys can help me with tips. If we don't hit the tips goal tonight, I'm serious, like, that's it for Mario. You know, I need to hit it so that we can get Mario for Friday. And also,
I wish people called his bluff on this, because I guarantee you he would have gotten Mario. It would have been, a generous supporter behind the scenes or after the stream was the one who he was going to play Mario regardless. He needed it. He needed it very, very badly for whatever reason. So trust me, he was going to play Mario regardless. I wish they had called his bluff on that. I wish they had, and so on and so forth. Or he would have said, "Oh, I got a review copy at the last," whatever. You know what I'm saying? He would have had an excuse on how he obtained it so he could play it. I just wish they called his bluff on it.
Like two more bills, and you know, I have tonight, and I have 2 more streams to go tomorrow. If we can hit we're halfway through, and we can hit these tips goals. You know, and by the way, I raised 120 earlier today. No, 110. So, actually, I really only... No, 120. It was 121 total, right? At the end of the stream. So, I need $80 tonight raised, basically, in order to hit both tips goals today. Alright? Again, I really need the help tonight. So that I can pay my bills this week and get Mario. Please, if you can, please tip me. And I mean, you know, everyone I see here when cheering and subbing, that's great. But I really need help with tips tonight. Please do if you can, okay? I'm nervous. I mean, I am nervous.
Wait,
I want to
think about what he's saying here. He essentially needs another $280 over the next 2 days to go ahead and get his bills cleared and play Mario. Theoretically, I want you to think about this. Theoretically, wouldn't he actually need 280? Wouldn't he actually need 340 plus to cover his bills and buy Mario? Or is Mario wrapped up in all that? And if Mario really is wrapped up into the 280 that he needs to raise, theoretically, couldn't we put off one of those bills to the side temporarily so he can buy Mario on Friday, play it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then pay that bill, whatever that bill may be, on Monday? Isn't that not a thing? And what happened to your PayPal money? Not PayPal money, sorry. What happened to Patreon money? Why wasn't that used to buy Mario? And what about those other streams that you had that you made over the tips goal? Just like how you said you made $121 over on the goal earlier that day. Matter of fact, you don't need 80, you still need 100. You still need 100 because you still need to come up with the money to buy Mario. So you're still theoretically at a deficit. But semantics. What about the days that you did go over the tips goal? Where is that money going? Why isn't that not being factored in? Just something to think about.
I want to pay these fucking bills. We're up to $9 in tips tonight, guys. Again, please, if you can support me with tips, I really need the help. Please do. I needed the tips goal tonight. Like, we've only got about an hour and 15 minutes left to hit this tips goal for tonight. Prepare for the meat. Cheers. If you hit the tip goal on all streams, you can use extra tips that people contributed on streams to buy Divinity as well as Mario. All excess money goes towards builds and or the cost of games. Absolutely. Yes, that's what the money goes for. So, if let's say, for example, we hit the tips goal tonight, tomorrow we hit them both, and we exceeded a few times, that's going towards the stuff. What do you think it's going towards? It's exactly
Wait, so then that does prove my point, then, that in actuality, he needs the 280 allegedly just for bills. That doesn't cover Mario. That's just for the bills. So then, if that's the case, then, ladies and gentlemen, why are we selling ourselves short and saying that you guys only need to come up with $80 tonight so we have the 200 for the day? Theoretically, you need another 100, not 80. I mean, realistically, he needs actually 140 to go along, well, 140 plus really, to cover the 100, to go along with the 120 from earlier that day, to give him 260 plus. That's really what the case is. But he's slowly but surely back, he's seesawing, basically. Oh, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got just over an hour left on the stream. I cannot do overtime tonight. We only have $9 in tips.
Help!
This is not a normal night. It's not okay if we don't hit the tips goal tonight. Like, I'm screwed. Unless we somehow make up for it tomorrow.
But contributions aren't mandatory. But contributions aren't mandatory. And now, and when did we initiate this, the initiative? Yeah, when did we initiate the initiative? That we can go ahead and carry over stream goals or tip goals to the next day. When was that a thing? Holy shit, I've missed a lot.
Screwed in. The thing is, like, I have bills to clear starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, I know for a fact there's a $400 bill that has to clear. And I should have enough to cover that. But this is not good. Like, this means I'm not going to be able to afford Mario. So if you guys could please tip me tonight, I would appreciate it. Timbo Slice Cheers, I know I love to support you. I feel like the wording things might rub people the incorrect way to keep Mario hostage. He's not hostage. I can't play it if I don't pay 2 big bills. Between today and Friday, I can't buy Mario. The money has to go to the bills. If I don't pay the bills, I can't buy a game anytime soon until I get paid by Twitch. So, it's not keeping anything hostage. It's being honest and upfront with you guys. It's not fucking doing something to try to coerce anything. I'm telling you the truth. All my money right now has to pay for 2 bills.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
Every dollar of tips coming in is going right to my bank account to clear 2 bills. Once those are cleared, then I can buy Mario. We don't hit the tips goals, they won't clear, no Mario. Not fucking coercing anything, being honest. So that gets us up to $35.
Okay, so then
tips,
tell them
guys.
then that you're not going to be able to play Mario until you get paid from Twitch, which means you're going to be behind the 8 ball anyway, because by the time you get into your coverage of Mario, the game would have been already out and already been beaten. But see, he's not going to do that. We clearly know he's not going to miss day 1 views on a brand new Mario game. He's not going to risk it. God damn, I wish they called his bluff on this.
So it's good progress. We have about roughly 30 to 40 minutes left tops on the stream. Please, guys, if you can contribute, please do. Let's hit that tips goal, man. Let's do it. We need it.
Oh my god, he's drinking piss.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we hit the tips goal for the night because I received a $101 tip from Kojo.
You guys told me never to rage quit, so I can't quit. Instead, I have to play this laggy, broken, glitchy match. What? How is he? I give up. You know what? I give up. I'm just gonna let it run down. 3 minutes, I'll update the leaderboard.
He rage quit! He rage quit! Oh my god, he rage quit! Are you fucking serious?
So, first of all, let's get a Kojo up there. I seriously don't care. I'm not playing this match anymore. There's no point. It's completely busted. There's no point. The enemies don't show up. The game's not even loading properly, so. Oh, come on. That's bullshit. What? Oh, I'm right in front of him with a knife. I swing. My knife misses. He kills me, even though we're at the same distance. Well, that makes perfect sense. What? Did you see that? They all spawned there. I'm gonna quit again. I wanna quit. I don't wanna play this anymore. This is trash tonight. I'll get the whole enemy team spawned in front of me. In front of me. I can't kill anyone. I can't kill anyone. No one will die.
This guy constantly whining. Wah, wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Wah, Oh my god.
I can't kill anyone. What is the point of playing? If the game is fucked up and it won't let you kill anyone. It's a waste of everyone's time. Two grenades! He just walked right through them. Like I never threw him. He said whatever. And he just walks right through a Semtex and a stun grenade and survives. This is pathetic.
過酷な運命を背負って極道の抗争に巻き込まれていた。
What if today we don't hit the tip skulls? I'm being very upfront with all of you. If we don't hit the tip skulls, I can't get Mario. Early hard. Oh, here we go.
Wait,
This
he
is a
just
fucking-
went over the tips goal twice though the day before. He had 121 on the first stream, and then he had at least 130, 140 on the stream that we kind of just saw. So that right there should have been more than enough. Well, it should have been enough to at least cover Mario, and then he's gonna have to figure out what the fuck he's gonna have to do after that. Yikes! Oh my god! Yet again, more of the mental gymnastics. Holy shit! And both of these bills need to be done and paid for by Friday, or before Friday, apparently. Apparently that's what the scheme is. Like, it's mandatory that these bills need to come through. He doesn't get a grace period or nothing on it. Even if it was automatic, let's say the bills are automatically paid, right, out of his account or whatever, there's still going to be like a 2 or 3 day layover.
Insult. Early hardcore beg season. Early hardcore beg season. Okay. Except there was no hardcore begging season last year, if you didn't notice.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
Because things were good. Things were going well. I didn't have to go crazy saying, oh my god, I need support with this or that. So what's funny is there was none of that last year because things were good. So now people are going to act like now because something is slightly tight and I need help. Oh, it's the hardcore begging season. No, you know what it is? It's your hardcore ass-sucking season. You sucking
Wow,
the turds out of that.
that's so great way of going about that. But it was the hardcore begging season. It was just the vest streak. And he was so desperate to keep the vest streak going is the reason why we ended up getting overtime and all these other little pathetic gimmicks that he was doing. So the hardcore begging season still very much existed. I mean, does anybody remember how the fucking hardcore begging season ended? Well, theoretically, it should have ended at 73. But when it ended at 276, he was like, all right, guys, stream's over. You know, if anybody's going to save the vest streak, please do. Sat on stream for, what, 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Praying that somebody was going to come through and help out? No one did, and then he... then he decided to actually clear the leaderboard and say it was dead. And he was miserable as fuck the next day when he popped up. Oh, that was beautiful. But yeah, just to keep the vest streak going, he was basically begging and pleading. Basically what he's doing now with Mario, that, hey, if you guys don't hit this vest streak, I'm not going to be able to play Mario. Hey, guys, if you don't hit the vest streak doesn't continue, and the haters win. Remember, the vest is a symbol of perseverance, and that we don't let the haters dictate who we are and what we do. And I need you guys to continue to support this. And then, of course, that incredibly touching fan letter that brought those fake tears to him about life hasn't been the easiest for me. It's been tough. And when I see stuff like this, it really shows that my content has meaning. Does anybody remember that dumb shit? Jesus Christ. Pepper's Farm remembers. God damn, dude. But there was no hardcore begging season last year. Sure there wasn't. Whatever you say, champ.
Asses of those who hate me, and you just have to do everything they tell you. Oh, it's the hardcore begging season. There was none. There was none, you dumb fuck, brainless idiot. It didn't happen. But in your parallel universe where you think everything is terrible and I'm the worst person on the planet, you think these things happen that didn't happen. You're a fucking idiot. You are the dumbest person on this planet right now. So here's what you can do. Put your head in the toilet.
That's a whole lot of heat coming off of this baked ham for no fucking reason, dude. That's a whole lot of heat coming off there for no fucking reason. Someone struck a nerve, bruh. And it's not like this is the first time you've heard hardcore begging season. I like how you acknowledged. I also like how he acknowledged that the hardcore begging season exists, and it has existed, I'm sorry, prior to last year. Because, you know, last year there was no hardcore begging season. He didn't even dispel the fact that it was going on this year. Well, hey, man, things are just kind of tight. It is what it is. But last year there was no hardcore begging season. I love how he did that. I love how he acknowledged its existence and so on and so forth. That was cute. That was real cute.
And fucking flush. Westside Rascal, thanks for the cheer. None of your fucking business. I know what I'm doing. I've only been doing it for 12 years. I know what's the best internet out here. And you should stop trying to poke your nose and act like you know better, because you don't. You're completely uninformed and you look like a fucking asshole. Alrighty. Of course, hilariously, people are like, oh, why is Phil being so harsh today? Because I'm done with the bullshit. I'm not going to sit here and have people, oh, you pay too much for internet. Are you getting scammed? No, fuck you, you moron.
Toxic toilet juice.
I think Kiwi
Simple
Farms
Slice
actually already proved that, by the way. They already proved that he was getting fucked over. To be honest, excuse me. He was getting screwed over immensely. But not only that, but it also came back into question, I know I've spoken about it, about how you got business class internet, but you and Catherine can't stream on it. And, which is already hilarious. But then you won't let Catherine stream on the regular internet. Because remember, we have 2 internet lines. He won't let her stream on the first internet line either. But why? You're not using it for anything. And even if you were, who gives a shit? What, to check your emails? To check Twitter? To check PayPal on your phone? You're gonna have little to no lag. I assume you wouldn't have any lag, actually. Or any problems or issues logging onto that if she was streaming on it. That makes no sense. Oh well.
He pays $90 a month for 500 gigabytes download and 40 up. He doesn't have a data cap with Spectrum. He says great internet is not cheap. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what mine is. All I know is I have the best. I have the highest grade.
What does that mean? You paying 280 or whatever the nonsense was. I remember Memology 101 talked about that many years ago and whatnot. But he says he claims he pays like $280, $300 a month for internet and shit. For what? Like, for what? You can't even tell us what your speeds up and down are anyway. He don't know. He said he didn't even know what a megabyte was. I remember when he did that. That was hilarious. But then again, also when he talked about how he couldn't leave his laptop next to his air conditioner because it would freeze the components. I remember when he talked about that too. That was hilarious. Yeah, he doesn't even know what a megabyte is. He has no clue. So he doesn't even. We don't even understand the basics. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same dude who used to run his internet off his laptop, I should say. He used to run it off Wi-Fi. And then I can't remember what happened. The Wi-Fi was fucking up on that old laptop or whatever the case may be. So he had to actually use an internet cable and whatnot. And he was like, oh my God, the speeds are so much faster now. I didn't know an internet cable would do that. Does anybody remember that situation? He's so good. He's so good. Remember, though, he used to be part of the PC Master Race back in the day. Keep that in mind. He used to be one of you. Defiant sniff.
With Comcast, okay? There's no better. I have the highest speeds possible. And there's no data caps. It's the only way you could have not had a data cap is to have the business line, which is expensive. Alright? I have to rent the equipment from them, the modem and everything. I do get the 24/7 customer support, which in my experience has been absolutely great. See? And here we go again. Westside Rascal.
Wait, but he's bitched about 24/7 support before. You can buy your own router and modem. Like most companies, if not almost all companies, don't give a shit about that. That's kind of better for them, honestly, because they're charging you. All they're doing is charging you extra. And then there's no, because I have business class internet. I don't have to worry about data caps. I mean, how many internet providers actually put a cap on anybody anyway? If anything, you should be more worried about them throttling you than anything else, which I would assume Comcast or whoever it is that has them is probably doing that, because just about most of the major internet providers throttle, especially if they see that he has heavy usage. They don't give a fuck what you're paying. If they feel the need to throttle you, they will. Wow, someone hit him with pignosis on that shit to keep him paying. And the thing is, though, too, is like he could probably call and find out see if they have any deals or specials, or he could go online and he could find that It's probably a lot cheaper now because it sounds like, because he's had the same internet plan for a long time, he's grandfathered in, right? He's like in a grandfather plan that probably doesn't even really exist anymore. But when the system rolled over for all the new plans, they just left him where it was at. Because why would they? So if this idiot did a little bit of research, he could find out. But he don't care because it's 3 years ago or 4 years ago or whatever, they told me it was the best internet possible. It'll never be anything better than this. And it costs this much, so I just got it. So he is getting royally fucked. And either his dumbass doesn't know how to approach them to get it fixed, or he doesn't want to listen to anybody because he's afraid that they're going to win. He's afraid that they're going to be right. And Phil is that type of person. He won't change or do something or do research because he's scared that people are going to laugh at him when it turns out to be true. He's proven this in the past before. All right, you want to keep bleeding all that money each and every month for no fucking reason? Go ahead. Because, let's be honest, Comcast or whoever his provider is, they're not going to tell him. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. They'll give cheaper internet to you and then let another 100 or 200 of you guys get yourselves fucked over each and every month. They don't give a fuck. Like I said, Comcast has never been known for their customer service, so who gives a shit? Wow, that sucks. That sucks.
Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. Every word out of your mouth makes you look stupider. I'm serious. Stop. Just fucking stop it. Stop. Right now. Don't say another word about internet or anything. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's just ridiculous. I'm not going to entertain any of your bullshit anymore. I'm just not. These people who think they know better than the person who does this for a living 6 days a fucking week since I moved here in 2014. Yes, you know better than me. No.
Well, yeah, they kind of do. Look at all your financial problems, issues, and shortcomings compared to theirs. If you want to keep this, let's not even talk about his personal life or any of that bullshit or how he publicly conducts himself. Let's just talk about his business and how that's been failing. And yet you're still paying more than what you should. Let's talk about all the shortcomings and shit that you've done that's been inflicted not just on you, but inflicted on your audience because of your own incompetence. How the fuck are you going to sit there and say that you know what you're doing and you're successful, and yet you're behind on your taxes and you're okay with it? How is it that you're going to say that you're successful, you know what you're doing, you've been doing this for 6 years or whatever the fuck may be, and yet you're sitting there owing fucking state and business occupation tax? And you had to file for bankruptcy, dude. Which is the ultimate level of financial incompetence, to be honest. Maybe, just maybe, your dumbass should have gone to like a financial expert or some shit at a bank or a credit union or whatever you guys have out there and talk to them and have them look at your bills for you. Most of them will do it for free, especially if you're a member of their bank. It couldn't hurt to spend half hour, 45 minutes just going over. If you don't understand how to conduct your life financially, then you should reach out for help. Which is clearly what you don't know how to do. We know what you want to do, but you don't know what you need to do. And that's clearly what your issue is. You can't be mad at other people because they point out that bullshit to you. It's true. Oh well.
Insane amount of disgusting toxicity.
Light of Soul cheered again and said, or maybe I ate some bad. Oh, you disgusting freak. You are a disgusting person. And in fact, you know what? You know what? Since you wanted to say something gross, and I've already forewarned you about this a million times, and you don't listen.
Isn't this the same guy who says that people can suck turds out of his ass, but he wants to call other people disgusting? Keep that in mind.
I feel like, sadly, you just gotta fucking be made to listen. So, Lies of Her Soul, you can enjoy a 10-minute timeout for being disgusting. And when you come back in 10 minutes, I'll expect an apology for being disgusting on my fucking stream, or else I'm gonna ban you. Because I've had enough of it. I've only warned you every day for like the past week about this disgusting behavior. You still continue to do it. You think you have free reign to do it? Well, enjoy your time out. And I'm serious about that. You better fucking come back and apologize in 10 minutes, or else you ain't coming back at all. I've had enough of this shit. Seriously. It's not just me. People are done with it, man. People are done. They're not coming to the street to see you say.
Isn't this the same guy who laughed at Low Tier God when he made what's that guy's name? It doesn't matter. But when Low Tier God made some dude write out a fucking, basically an essay explaining his apology and shit? Like, DSP actually did that. But yet, you have the nerve to sit here and demand this guy give you an apology and hold up the stream if you don't do it. Matter of fact, he did that in the broadcast, I think, before this. There's one of those videos where he did the exact same thing. Jesus Christ.
Tired of your nonsense. You know, oh, I cheer a lot, though. Yeah, well, so what? Just because, oh, I support the channel, now I can do whatever I want? No, it doesn't give you free reign to break the rules. It's your own fucking fault. So, grow the fuck up, come back and apologize, and welcome back. Or else, just stay gone.
And I use that negativity, I use that toxicity.
Listen, what do you mean by stay gone, though? He's only timed out. He's not banned. If you really felt the way you felt, why didn't you ban his ass? He'd do it to anybody else? Oh, well.
Fuel me, right?
This is hilarious. He insults his viewers. No, I insult people who are fucking assholes to me. This guy comes to my stream every day, he cheers, and then he fucking says gross shit, and I tell him, please stop. And he does it again, 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 and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And how many times can I put up with this fucking guy? There's a difference. A major difference between, oh, someone just said one thing and Phil kind of went off, versus, oh, you know, someone who just will not listen to reason. Stupid. And he does it again. If he comes back and says anything disgusting, he's out of here. I mean, I'm not putting up with his shit no more. The thing is, he's like, oh, I appreciate the contribution. Of course I do. This guy's one of the top cheerers I've ever had in the last several months. You know, he's like the top cheerer every week. But he always has to be a fucking disgusting person. And I'm just done with it. I'm done with the gross shit.
I swallow coming. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 so funny. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, I'm so funny. Of course I talk about gross shit every day. It's my channel. I can do whatever the fuck I want. That's right. This is the United States of Phil. I am the supreme being. I make the rules, and what I say goes. This is not a place for you to stand on your soapbox and complain about censorship and freedom of speech, because the bottom line is you don't have freedom of speech. This is my land.
But that's for me to decide what's acceptable limits of what can be talked about on my stream and what's not. This guy breaks the rules every day, and I tell him to stop, and he doesn't listen. That's the difference. That's the big difference here. So congrats on trying to say that I'm a hypocrite when in reality you're just an idiot. So now here we go. Lies were sold with several cheers. First cheer says, oh, I thought about what happened, and it wasn't me. He's pulling a Shaggy. He acts like it wasn't him, that he didn't do it. Yes, you did. You did it. Then he cheered again. He said he's very sorry. Then he cheered again. He said, would it be more lenient if the contribution comments were tips? No, you're not allowed to be an asshole who violates the rules on my stream, regardless of how you contribute. No one is immune to the rules, so try to grow the fuck up.
That's 100% a lie.
Then he cheered again and he said, if I buy Mario, can I come over and couch co-op with you? No, no one can come into my fucking house.
I mean, yeah, he's been accused of fucking people buying their way into mod ship, like fucking Straight Cash Homie, for example. Swaggins is another one. Matter of fact, isn't Only Iced Coffee? It might be Only Iced Coffee, but it could be somebody else. Aren't they trying to become mods? And they flush out money on the regular and they still can't get in? I mean, I would think for the amount of money they pushed out there, that's not a deep fake or anything, or a deep snort, if you will. I don't think that's snorty ops. So I'm surprised he won't just make them an outright mod. He's done it before. But I don't know. It's clear that if that's the case, then he obviously must not trust them. Or he thinks, well, fuck it. I'll just go ahead and keep the carrot dangling in front of you, if you will, and just keep flushing money at me until I really have to. Until you stop, essentially.
COVID-riddled people. Stay out. Okay. Anyway.
There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me. It's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the last video that makes up our broadcast. Sad moment, I'm sure. And we'll take a small music break and we'll reconvene for that. I'll see you guys in a second. Yikes. COVID-ridden people. Jesus, Phil.
right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
Actually, Jasper has a new collar. That's correct. Jasper has a brand new collar. His old collar, he had it for quite a few months, but it was finally fraying and starting to fall apart. So Kat and I got him a new collar when we went out on Tuesday. Nice blue. Blue, and actually it has like this kind of almost like a holographic sheen to it.
Tips, I needed them.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. At least Jasper's getting something for his efforts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the last video, the fifth and sorry, Jesus Christ, the fifth and last video to make up our broadcast. Brought to us by Snort Burnell, DSP. My bankruptcy is proof that my addiction to WWE champions doesn't exist, and Double Vest Pig. This was these titles are amazing. This was published on February 13th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. Double Vest Pig. That's good. That's pretty good. Here we go.
Pretty badly.
Oh, okay, the hardcore begging season. So you're an idiot. Okay. We already talked about that on the earlier stream. I'm just gonna ban this idiot for a second. Hold on. We talked about it. It was hilarious because someone actually tried to insult me earlier today, and they were like, "Oh, the hardcore begging season came early," and I'm like, "No, that's a meme from idiots who don't understand that." The reason that anyone even made that up is because I was having a lot of financial problems because of, debt and stuff. I don't have the debt anymore. Last year, there was no begging at all.
This guy is 1
But yet,
million%.
here's the thing. He's been in financial straits for years. Like, for years. There's always some type of financial... He's talking about a financial issue now. Taxes is still the big thing now. Well, it's been the big thing for years, I should say. Even though he just refuses to pay it, apparently. Or he's supposedly paying his regular taxes, but then he's trying to pay the back taxes too. But then that's not true because if either he owes little to no money, or what little he does owe just goes back to the back taxes. Sorry, I'm just going too deep into it apparently because Phil always tells the truth, right? Right.
A pathological liar and a sociopath.
During that usual busy gaming season, it was just business as
And
usual.
then
It was great.
even then, I should say, with the whole vest street, we're talking about between 20. Some people, it was like $25,000, but some people have actually estimated it to be somewhere between, let's say, 25 and 30,000 altogether. Outside of all of the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. All of the chargebacks that slowly but surely, allegedly, according to him, have been chipping away at him for the last 4 or 5 months. Where did all that money go? He didn't use it to pay his backstate taxes. He didn't do it to improve his streaming setup. What other bills did he have that was basically sucking all of that money up? And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, that $25,000, well, that between $25,000 and $30,000 has nothing to do with his Twitch paycheck. So all of the crazy gifted subs he was getting, all of the bits, that has nothing to do with that. That was part of the Twitch paycheck, which was still averaging somewhere between $7,000 and $10,000 a month. We're still not even counting YouTube yet. And we're not counting what is he averaging? Between $200 and $400 on Patreon, maybe? So, and we're still not even talking about that yet. There you go.
Able to be able to sit here and have fun with you guys and focus on the games and not have to worry about money constantly. It was a really big positive change because you're right, usually by the end of the year, I need to basically try to do special events and fundraising streams and shit, and I didn't have to do that last year. That was a really, really awesome thing, honestly. I felt the end of last year things were much better than usual because I didn't have to worry about that shit, It wasn't like
Wait, I thought
usual.
all those special events that you did, though, was supposed to be you giving back to the audience. Right? Like the end of the year specials and all of that stuff. I thought that was supposed to be for the fans, for the people who supported you all year and for the many years prior to that. But now you're saying that you used it only to drum up more money. Yikes. Yikes. Maybe that wasn't the thing to say.
I would have to be worried about that, and I just enjoyed games for what they were. But it didn't happen last year yet. They don't want to, of course, acknowledge that. They want to act like, oh, no, it still happened. Yeah, you were still begging constantly, Phil, on streams. It happened. We know it happened. No, it didn't. Not at all. It didn't happen at all. You're full of shit. It didn't happen at all once last year. And you just bring it up and act like it did because you want to be dicks, you know, and don't want to pretend like things have gotten better, right?
I e-bag, right? You're constantly asking your viewers and your fans for contribution.
No, you cannot be my Valentine, beautiful butterfly. Absolutely not. I've told you a million times, by the way. Stop asking. It's getting creepy at this point. Despite what people may have told you, when someone repeatedly says no, it doesn't mean eventually they're going to say yes. It just means no. Okay? Just so you know. Well, let's see here. The truth gets banned.
Wait, what about that rape song about that whole yes means no, no means yes thing? Oh, okay. I guess we don't talk about that anymore. My bad.
Oh, he's a troll. I see, I'm reading it, and he's basically saying that my fans are all on disability. He's a fucking asshole. So you can go fuck yourself. You're not the truth, you're a piece of shit. And you did just get banned, so there you go.
But most of that's true, though. Like, most of your fans are on disability of some type. Okay.
Bunch of idiots coming in here with stupid names like DSP tax plan and shit, so I'm just banning all of them. I don't care. I'm not even gonna address it or read what they say. I'm just gonna outright ban them. Gimme Mocher says, one thing I like and hate about me is that I can take a joke, but trolls will then try to spin it like I can't.
You see how he hesitated about when he was like, what people like and what I hate about, what you hate about me. Like, why'd you hesitate to say that shit? Like, why do you have such a hard time processing that, Mr. King of Hate? Mr. I take the hate that is thrown against me or thrown at me, and I use it to fuel me, right? What's the problem? What's the problem? And see, here's the thing. If this whole King of Hate moniker was even true, then he wouldn't have a problem with detractors, namesayers, critics, trolls, or whatever. He wouldn't have a problem with any of it if that was really true. If his moniker, if you want to even call it that, was even worth a damn. The problem is that it isn't. It's not worth anything at all, and he knows it. It was just a pathetic shield he threw up all those years ago to try to defend himself in the FGC, and people saw through that shit just like people see through it now. That's why he barely even brings it up. Wow.
Obviously, limit for stuff. Yeah, you know, here's the thing. Like, all right, you want to make a crack? Oh, let's reference mobile games and laugh about it. Fine. When people come in here with 14 accounts and they're constantly talking about it and trying to derail the whole stream talking about it, no, of course that's annoying. I don't want to do that. You know, I'm someone who can laugh at myself and laugh at a meme or whatever. But that's the thing. These people aren't normal people. A normal person will make a funny reference, oh ha ha, and that's it. They drop it. These people can't do that. They're obsessive individuals. Like, their mind becomes so hyper fixated on something so stupid, and now it's like, oh, let's do it like, okay, let's make the frog reference. Cool. Now let's spam frog emotes for the next 72 minutes in my stream. I just said 72 twice in like a 5-minute span there. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's about moderation. You make a joke, okay, not the entire stream is now about this. No, it's not actually. You know, it's my stream. We're having fun with games, chilling, we're interacting. It's not about you taking over the stream with your stupid name.
I'm all about myself. Oh, the stream's all about me. It's all about me.
Yeah, here we go. So this guy says I have 1,000 accounts. It's the moron who just says fake cheers over and over. No, we know you're a loser. Like, you didn't have to tell us that. You don't have to tell us that you're a complete and utter loser. We know that from when you come in here with your 1,000 accounts and continuously talk and cheer and say stupid shit. Like, we know you're a complete
loser. You're actually a lower form of life than anyone actually on my stream right now. You are actually at the bottom of all of us.
Like, we shit, and then, you know, you're below the turds where the turds fall, on the totem pole. Like, we know that. You don't have to tell us and call it out in, like, a cheer. We know that. Retro Jim, here's the thing, okay? So Retro Jim just changed it. What's the big deal? What would change if you were playing a mobile game? It wouldn't change your impact you all with your fans. The truth is, you're right, it wouldn't. Who cares? Who cares what a content creator does behind the scenes? The problem is the insane accusations that get thrown at me along with that. It's not, oh, Phil plays a mobile game. It's, oh, Phil spent, like, you know, $80,000 on a mobile game, and it's all that money he should have been putting towards stuff, and see what, that's why this happened and that happened. He's lied to his fans for years. That's what I mean. He becomes this insano conspiracy theory.
Yeah, Stripper's right. How did you jump to 80,000? Matter of fact, wasn't he sitting there running around crying about when we thought it was at 40,000, or when it was at 40,000? 40,000 plus, I should say. He was saying it was 140,000. They try to make it more outrageous, but then you jump from 50,000 to 80,000. Okay, well, that's going to be something to dig into later on down the line. That's a nice 80,000, huh, Phil? Now, it's been speculated, and Phil has actually kind of confirmed this, that he funds WWE champions not through his credit cards or anything like that, because that would have popped up. He's funding them, or at least directly, I should say. He's not paying for it directly. He's going through like an Apple gift card or whatever, because he used to ask his parents and his family members during the holidays, because of course that's the only time he's really going to probably talk to these people, to send him credits through Apple so he could go ahead and pay for his addictions and so on and so forth. So that's probably how he's been funding it. Do you have more than one account in WWE Champions, Phil? Now, I know that's not something that has been brought up, but I'm going to just go ahead and throw it out there now. It's not a matter of being first. It's just a matter of giving you guys something to think about. And that I'm sure someone's thought of this. I'm sure someone has thought of this. But do you have more than one WWE Champions account, Phil? We know he plays multiple games. We get that. But does he have more than one WWE Champions account? Because the account that we currently have him locked to, he can't move the way he wants to move with it. Right? He's getting exposed to pretty much everybody. So I wonder, is there a second one out there? Excuse me. Is there a second one out there that he's using? Interesting. I'm asking. I'm not making a statement. I'm merely asking a question. But I wonder. I wonder.
Or shit. That's just so wild and insane. To believe it, you'd have to be an actual fucking idiot. You'd have to be one of the most gullible, simple-brained people. Especially when everything they say is insane circumstantial evidence, has nothing to prove anything, but that's what they believe is true. It's like they say, if you want to believe something is true, you will believe anything to get to that end. People want to believe that I'm a scammer. People want to believe that I'm a horrible person, because then they would feel that, like, all the years of hatred that they've thrown at me completely illogically would have been warranted. When in reality, the truth is, no, none of it's warranted. It's just insanity. They're losers. But they want to think that they've actually somehow behind the scenes been right about everything all along that they've ever said about DSP. So they latch on to bullshit. And they just believe it all with no actual factual proof of anything.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
And here's the thing, is that there's idiots who, like, they will just continuously move the goalpost. Okay, what about this? You explain that. Oh, but then what about this? Wait a minute, I just explained one thing. What's this? Oh, here's something else. Here's something else. They just move the goalpost when it comes to shit like that.
But you never explained WWE Champions away. You just said it wasn't you and that's it. People were like, hey, go ahead and pull up your phone and just show that you don't have the app. No one wants to see all the details on your phone. Just prove that you don't have the app, and you refuse to do it. And then you said that, oh, the number that's listed there isn't even mine. I switched. You made it almost imply, you tried to imply that you didn't have the number anymore. But people went ahead and went back and was like, the last time John Rambo was brought up about you talking to him and working your shit out, you said that you still have the same number. The ball's in his court. If John really wants to talk to me, he can. And then James DeLesser called that number linked to your link to that account in question. And your voicemail popped up with your voice on it. Like, you're as pinned down as you're ever going to be. You can keep trying to deny it all you want in your piggy reality and shit and make it think that it doesn't exist. Just like how you try to avoid that first ear infection that you had sat there and let go on and progressively get worse because you said allegedly it was the first one you ever had, and you thought that it eventually would go away. We see what happens to when you're confronted by problems. You usually try to dismiss them. Basically what you're doing now. And it only blows up later on down the line. Eventually you're going to have to come out and admit it. And the thing is you just said that, oh, if I admitted it to my audience, they wouldn't care, but it's all the outlandish bullshit that allegedly is tied to it. Well, you've been accused of even more outlandish shit before that. Yet again, what's the difference? And you even said that you used to play mobile games and you were addicted to them heavily, but you gave them up when you met Catherine. But we know that's a lie, because when you when you went to Connecticut to visit your parents who were sick and dying and to get married, the same marriage that you said that you weren't going to be able to get because you couldn't afford it, but semantics, you admitted that you bought 2 separate data plans on the plane so you guys could do what? Play mobile games. So you paid $40 a line or whatever so you could sit there and feed your addiction? This addiction that allegedly doesn't actually exist? Okay, sure. Sure. That makes a lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen.
So even if you waste time trying to say something that disproves what they're saying, they just have 10 more things to say that they pulled out of their ass, and now somehow you're supposed to be able to answer for everything that's ludicrous and stupid that was made out of nothing, right? Here's the truth. I'm just going to leave it at this because I'm definitely not going to be talking about this all night, but I will say this and leave it at this for tonight because this is the end-all be-all and no one will ever be able to answer this, all right? If somehow behind the scenes I'm secretly playing all these mobile games and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on mobile games, alright? How in the holy hell was I granted bankruptcy last year, alright? When you go through
you're a product of circumstance, to be honest with you, and it is alleged, and it might be right, that the trustee and everybody else, the trustee especially, was probably kind of caught off guard by the bullshit that circles around you. It might have been just easier to take the L. But it also makes it even more ironic that Mid-First didn't go ahead and throw their name in that hat. They decided to wait until after the fact to see how that played out. There's a lot of working parts to all of this shit, but either which way, make of that what you will. But here's the reality. The fact that you had so much debt and you have nothing to show for it kind of yet again coincides that you may very well have this addiction. You may have this fucking problem. And you've admitted that you played mobile games for fucking years. Yet again, you have all of this debt and you don't have really anything to show for it. Where the fuck did the money go? Something to think about.
Procedure, just so everyone understands this, because maybe some people don't. You have to provide all of your information. You have to fully disclose everything. During the process, if it's discovered that something is not disclosed, you have to fully disclose it. If you don't, you could be held accountable legally. You could go to jail. You could have giant problems, okay? And certainly, if it's discovered that you're hiding hundreds of thousands of dollars of mobile game spending, they're not going to grant you bankruptcy, okay? Like, just the entire fact that some idiot would actually think that I went through this insanely long process. That process for bankruptcy started in late 2019. I actually first met, if I'm remembering correctly, I first met with the bankruptcy lawyer in like September or October of 2019. And that process continued all the way through like May of 2020. Almost a year. I had repeated meetings not only with my bankruptcy lawyer, but also with actual people involved in the process. What do they call them? The trustee, as well as a judge. I personally met with these people to explain.
When did you meet a judge when the trustee was the one who actually presided and actually rendered the final verdict? What need would there have been for a judge? What are you talking about? And that was and keep in mind the meeting that he had with Nancy and the trustee and all of that shit. That was or whoever his lawyer is, my bad, or attorney or whatever the case may be. That was the second time, because the first time they were supposed to have a meeting, they couldn't because his attorney had COVID. Why did we need to know that? Why did he need to say that? Don't know. Whatever. He could have just said she was sick, but he decided to come out and say that she had COVID. And then the second meeting is what you had there, which was supposed to be held at his attorney's office. But I don't actually think that happened. I think they were doing everything by obviously a voice conference. But I think Phil was at home. I don't even think he actually left. He even left his house to go to her office to actually do the meeting, which might have been a good thing. But either case. And he keeps trying to shield himself behind the situation. But if I remember correctly, I don't know who has the full version, but the guy who was on the bankruptcy call before him, apparently he forgot to shut his mic off. He was like, holy shit, that was easy as fuck. And then he was like, oh, mic's on, and whatnot, and clicked off. So it doesn't sound like it's as difficult as he tries to make it sound. And last time I checked, from October to May isn't a year. Just putting it out there.
What I do for a living, how my finances work, where my income comes from, where my debts come from, all this stuff. Like, I do line by line. I'm not even kidding you. I was sitting there with a judge, line by line, going through a PayPal statement.
過酷な運命を背負って極道の抗争に巻き込まれていた
Trying to explain to them, that's a tip. That's something I spent money on here one day. That's it. I did all this. It was not an easy process. This is something that took a ridiculous amount of time. This is something that took a lot of money, because let me tell you something. My situation was so complex, number one, because of what I do and people not understanding exactly what it is, but in addition, because of the amount of people who told me, people who actually lied.
That's not true either. You charged, your attorney charged you one flat rate. Nick Rekieta and Null, well, Nick Rekieta on his own had already confirmed that, but so did Null from Kiwi Farms when they went over that thing. I need to do that, by the way. I need to go over that whole thing. That's a 4-hour video I think they made, or a 4-hour stream. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be long. Anyway, I'll break it up into parts or whatever. It'll be easier that way. But they went over that. She charged you a flat fee. It was either $1,200 or $1,500. So how expensive was it, Phil? $1,200 or $1,500 is setting you back like that? You're already in debt multiple years in taxes, and I assume it's way more than $1,200 to $1,500.
Online and close all this slander with the mobile game shit. There were people who were contacting the trustee saying, Phil, not only is he like a crazy mobile game spender, but he has all these offshore accounts hidden outside. He has like 5 PayPal accounts. He has offshore bank accounts. You got to look into.
I don't remember anybody saying anything about the PayPal account, about 5 PayPal accounts. You definitely have 2, and there's possibly a third. I can't remember who it was on Kiwi Farms who said that, but someone did. But you definitely have 2. One that's linked to darksidephil@hotmail.com, and one at DSP Gaming at linked to hotmail.com. We found that out during the 16th. It was either the $9,000 statue thing. No, it was the 6K statue situation. Almighty Tevin has a video going over all that, where that PayPal came up. It was a burner. It's basically a secondary or a burner. No one knew about that until that situation happened. Just to give you guys a quick reference, basically Phil needed a large amount, as usual. Phil needed a large amount of money. Someone reached out to him and said, "Hey, I'd be willing to give a large donation if I could get a couple of your statues as compensation." Okay, well, you're not buying my statues. You're giving me this donation and whatnot, and then I'm gifting you these statues as appreciation or whatever the case may be. And he had Phil on the line for like 2 fucking weeks. Like, he had strung Phil along for 2 fucking weeks for what ended up being like $6,000, allegedly, and whatnot. And a fake statement was produced and all that shit. That shit was fucking hilarious. That shit was fucking hilarious. Because hearing Phil's desperation in those emails were crazy. It was crazy listening to that desperation and shit. And then when it started to sink in for Phil that he was being played, he made it sound like the guy was killing him. Like Phil was so emotionally hurt that he made it sound like the guy was killing him. Anyway, that's when we found out about the second PayPal account. And it's very possible there's a third one out there. It's very possible. But we know about 2 at the very least, which is even more funny because in his first filing, that first PayPal account the second PayPal account wasn't even on there. It was after Kiwi Farms pointed that out and detracted Twitter is when he ended up redoing his filing, and then all of a sudden that second one got added. Imagine that.
All this to me. They made it so that this process that normally would be a very streamlined process ended up being a process that took a ridiculously long time because of all the slander against me on the internet. And the slander that actually sent this stuff to the trustee during the whole process of bankruptcy.
You're flustered, I get it. If you would just been honest with the fucking document the first time, you wouldn't have had to have it redacted or redone multiple times, and it probably could have just gone through. You're the one who did that. You kept trying to push the limits on what you could get away with. And then he lied at least twice, because he said, I filed it and whatnot. Everything I put on is honest. But then he said that he didn't file anything. It was his attorney who did it. And he just told her what to write down. So which one was it? Because it seems more logical that you were given this document and you were told to fill it out. Then she takes it, she looks over it, to give it a once over, if you will, because she's only getting a flat fee, and then she sent it off. So we don't even know the truth on that yet. But either which way, whether he filled it out himself or she did, he had to provide the information. But when he was getting called out on, hey, this isn't right, Phil, hey, that's not right, excuse me, so on and so forth by online when he was getting called out for all this bullshit. He was like, that's not my fault, that's her fault. How's it her fault when it's your information?
So, just think about this. If I could possibly have gotten away with fooling anyone, how when everyone sent all that shit to the trustee, right? We went through every single line of data possible. And I had to explain away everything and tell them exactly what everything was. And at the end of the day, there was none of the bullshit that these idiots say. None of it exists. It's completely fabricated bullshit. I don't need to sit here and justify, oh, there was a picture on the internet with extra pixels on it. That proves that you play mobile games and spend money. Oh, there was a phantom mod who revealed information over here or there. That proves what we're saying. No, none of it's proven. Wanna know why? Because I've had my bankruptcy granted. If anything, if one of the crazy amount of things that they said about this whole thing was true, the bankruptcy would never have been granted. Do you honestly want to know what they say when I say that? Oh, well, that's just because everyone involved is a boomer. That's actually what I get told. Everyone involved was a boomer. So you're telling me, let me get this straight, okay? My bankruptcy attorney, the trustee, the other judge
now,
who was involved in the process.
He was granted his bankruptcy. Keep in mind, despite the fact that he was granted his bankruptcy, his begging has ramped it up. It has become more intense since he's been given his bankruptcy. Keep in mind, if you want to go ahead and say he won, he won. So why the fuck is he trying so hard to convince assholes like myself to let all this go when you've already won? Like, what's the point? Because this, ladies and gentlemen, isn't going out to his audience. He could give fuck all about them. They're all suckers. He's already conning them. So he don't give a shit about them. So why the fuck are you trying to appeal to the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics then? What's your point? What's the point of all of this? If we're all brain dead idiots and we're never going to believe you anyway because you don't say nothing or you don't say anything of reason. So why do you continue to put yourself through this? That's the real question.
None of them have any idea about anything on the internet. They're completely ignorant to the internet. They don't understand a thing on the internet at all. And so they just took a big rubber stamp, a big rubber stamp and said, thump, oh, it's good. What? It's like, what are you talking about?
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
You actually believe that people who their full-time jobs is to review cases for bankruptcy and or either approve or deny bankruptcy based on reviewing tons of evidence, you actually believe that they're so dumb that they just have a big red approval stamp and they go thump and they don't actually look into anything or try to understand anything. You really believe that. If you believe that, you are beyond help. You are so dumb and so brainwashed in your mentality that I'm evil and everything that I say and do is evil.
Like I said, he's too stupid to be evil, but he certainly lives backwards. And it certainly is evil to live backwards. With that being said, big ups to Lord Lux. But the more funnier part, really, is you go back to the 341 call, is how paranoid he had his attorney wrapped up. Like, he had definitely infused her with so much fear and bullshit that when the trolls ended up coming around later on that call, it essentially justified everything. Well, for the most part, I would assume it justified everything that he had said, but he still had to prep her though for all of that nonsense. So he was feeding these people his sob story for the longest time leading up to the actual call. And then once the call happened with, what she say, 60 people were on the line or whatever it was, I mean, yet again, it was more of a reason to just push his ass off. It made a lot more sense to be like, even though Nancy said that she wanted information from both of those PayPals and she wanted it to go back 6 months, I think, he's not worth the headache. He's certainly not worth the headache. He's trying to make it sound like the haters and everything like that, the haters, trolls, and whatever, were the ones who almost fucked him out of the bankruptcy. But if you think about it, they may have actually helped push it along. And I think he knows that. But yet again, it's just another way for him to play victim. The dude is fucking radioactive. He's toxic fucking waste. Everything he touches turns to shit. It made sense to get him the fuck out of there now. Because do you really want to dig into what nonsense is really following this guy? Do you really want that? Now, yet again, that's an assumption on my part, but would any of you want that?
And I'm a liar and everything. That there's no factual explanation will ever prove anything to you because you ignore the facts to come up with more conspiracies. You see? It just doesn't matter anymore. They're that dumb. They actually think. They're that dumb. They actually think.
But keep in mind though too, this is the same idiot who does the exact same thing with game companies, publishers, and other big content creators and big streamers. He does that shit too, about how there's this special cabal, right, with the privileged few, and they get away with all this bullshit, and how YouTube is working with them to push people like him further down, and how Twitch works with them to push people like him further down. He's come up with the exact same crazy shit too. Is some of what he said plausible? Sure, there's favoritism and everything. He's an example of that. He's an example of someone who's been given favoritism and who's been pampered to some fucking degree. This dude should have been kicked off of Twitch a long time ago. And yet someone high up protected his dumb ass. And then it's funny when the moment, what's that guy's name? Or what his name was, Hassan, who the fuck? Once he ended up booted because apparently it's alleged that he's being sexually appropriate and he may have taken advantage of some girl or raped her or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden Phil started getting hit with shit and he can't bounce back from it. Then all of a sudden he can't get himself a contact, and none of the partnership and the partnership program had to prioritize who gets what help, and his name wasn't on that list. It's funny how all that shit happened after Hassan got booted up and out that bitch. So you got a scumbag in a position of power who was misusing his privileges and whatnot to apparently get laid or take advantage of women and shit. And yet, and should any of us be surprised that he would end up using some of those powers to help another piece of garbage? It doesn't sound like it's too much off the mark.
Bankruptcy would have went through because somehow I'm such kind of a magical smoke and mirrors guy, and I could fool multiple people who've been doing this for a living for their whole fucking life. These aren't people who are like newbies on the case. I have someone who I think they would have been doing it for 15, 20 years is their job. You're telling me they're that bad at their job that they missed all the offshore money that I'm funneling to an account over here. They missed my 5 extra PayPals that I don't tell anyone about, and they missed hundreds of thousands of dollars in mobile game spending. Yes, they missed all of this. You're absolutely right. They're the worst thing ever. They don't know what they're doing. You're out of your mind. You're out of your fucking mind. And I don't need to address shit like that. That's why when people say, oh, why doesn't Phil ever talk about or answer this or that? There's no point. The evidence is right there in front of you.
You're doing it now. But alright, I don't need to address anything while I proceed to address it.
There's no way I ever would have had bankruptcy granted if any of that shit was true. Zero chance that I would have gotten my bankruptcy granted. Which means none of it's true. But instead of saying, okay, well, I guess it was all bullshit, after all, that's why Phil denied it all along, instead it's, oh, well, what's the excuse? Because there's a boomer involved. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You are insane. You are actually insane if that's
and yet
what you
again,
think.
we're pissed off as fuck for what? Because we won? Because we won, we're this upset.
Helping people like that. So, I'm done with the subject. I'm not going to talk about it again tonight.
They call me a living meme.
The hated one cheers says, why not just ignore it and go on with your day? Oh, I do. See, the hated one, I absolutely do. The point that we're bringing up here, hated one, is that there are people who just don't give it up. Like, if you don't notice, I don't bring it up. Oh, hardly ever.
If you know for sure that you have this hate mob that's been following you for years and they always flip the script on you, they're always spinning shit and doing all this, that, and the third, what the fuck are you mad about? You already know this. This is what your life is. This is what your situation is. So why the fuck are you still crying and complaining about it? This is your reality and it's not going to change. It could have changed years ago, but you decided to be a piece of shit and you made it worse. You're going to have to live with this. You're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to accept this. This is your reality. Wow.
Wow. Someone will reference it and I'll have a good laugh about it or something. But you know, like I said, there's no debunking stream. I'm not wasting time on it. There's no point. Because you're right.
And fuck that debunking stream. That wasn't even his list. That was somebody else's list. He took that from a detractor. He took that from Dragon Killer. That was on Dragon Killer's Twitter. He took that shit and tried to pass it off as if it was his list. And it wasn't. And didn't debunk jack shit. Your word means nothing. And that's what he's mad about. That's why he goes into those bullshit rants on Twitter talking about, I come up with intelligent things to say, I have intelligent points, and why won't anybody acknowledge me? Why should they? Even if you're right, who gives a shit? And most of the points you make is nothing more than something that someone else has said. So yet again, what's your point? Why are you running around so desperate to be acknowledged? I thought you have this wholesome and fucking meaningful life with Catherine, and you just want to come in, play games, and have a good time. Why the fuck do you need some extra acknowledgement from people on Twitter? The same people on Twitter that you've called idiots, shills, morons, and so on and so forth. Why would you want it? Why would you want validation from people that you've put down in the past? What sense does that make?
Stupid. The people who are here to hang out with me and enjoy don't care about that. They know it's bullshit. They know it's all fabricated, just like the escort saga, just like the fake mod saga, just like every other saga, right? The fucking Project 7
fake
scam
mod saga. I mean, there's been plenty of gay ops or deep fakes with that mod thing. So, can you be more specific about that? And as it pertains to the escort saga, you're still going to lean on that? There still wasn't a woman who wasn't yours that you ain't sat there and flown across the country to come see you and threw all that money down on? The same money that you were trying to raise that you said that was going to go to taxes, but you didn't pay those taxes? Okay. What? So it's not a European escort, but yet there was a group of Europeans who was part of the catfishing part of it. But you still was flying a woman who wasn't yours. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you owned her, but you know what I mean. And whatnot, across country multiple times to come see you when she had a man. And that in the whole time that you dated Catherine, at least when it came to communications, you never spoke to her on the phone. You did it through text. You admitted that. Until Subaru Man wised up and saw what the fuck was happening and kicked her out. You keep pointing to that escort saga, but if people went back and took a second look, it doesn't look good. That wasn't a win. It wasn't a win that a fucking grown-ass man who only learned how to do laundry at 35 was so desperate to get this woman who had vulnerabilities to come move in so he could have her take care of him. And then in our recent timeline, he keeps calling her mommy by accident. Don't worry, we got a second look at the escort saga coming.
Every saga they come up with, that's all horseshit. Because think about that. Just think about how insane and immature they are, that they think my life is a bunch of sagas. Like a fucking anime, like this is fucking Cell Saga. Gee, are we into Saiyan Saga, the Cell Saga?
You're a lolcow. That's why it's broken up like that. Because every saga that Chris Chan has ever gone through, or every arc, if you will, or every moment in his life has been broken up into sagas. It's a trademark for lolcows. That's why you're in it. That's why you're in one. Come on, Phil. You've read your Kiwi Farms thread. You know how this works.
Or are we coming up on the Boo Saga yet? Like, where are we right now, right? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you insane? That's not life. Life is not a bunch of anime sagas. What are you talking about? But that's how they are. That's how these people are. They're nuts.
They call me a lolcow. Dark side filled the lolcow.
Lolcow.
Yes! Yes, Jasper Essentials. I 100% am comparing people who make the conspiracy theories up about me to QAnon. 100%. It's the same kind of people. I'm not saying it's exactly the same people. I'm saying it's the same kind of people. You want to believe something so badly, you will take anything as evidence of what you're trying to prove. It's insanity. That is not logical thinking. That kind of thinking can lead to things like we've seen happen. Crazy shit in the Capitol. People who are so nuts they just believe shit.
You're saying that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are gonna fucking go ahead and attack the Capitol? Or they're associated with people who do that? But then again, this is the same person who says there's too many people on the planet and that's why trolling exists. More specific, the people who troll him. They don't have meaningful lives, so they really don't deserve to exist. So that's who this is that's talking to you guys now. Because you don't like Darkside Phil, it means that you don't have a life, there's nothing meaningful about you, and you probably don't deserve to exist. You're one of the many people who shouldn't exist. There's just too many people on the planet. There's not enough resources to go around. There's not enough things for people like you to do with your time. So, since there isn't anything, since this is all you do apparently, right? Because 24/7, that's what we all do, right? We should be killed. We shouldn't exist. We should die. And this is the same person who, let's see, Wing said you should die in a car wreck I think DSP said you could go die in a fire or jump off a building or throw yourself off a cliff. I don't know. Phil has wished death on people a couple different times in a couple different ways. It is what it is. But remember, though, back then, though, YouTube was the Wild West, so he could say something like that off the cuff, and no one took it seriously. I didn't know you could wish death on people like that. It's the same person, too, going back to the Logan Paul thing, because after hearing it again, it's been fucking hilarious. Who sat there and said, I wonder what life would have been like. Sorry, not even life. What would YouTube have been like if Logan Paul's fucking parachute didn't open? But, you know, it's everybody else, though, are the really scary, crazy people, apparently. I think in all the time that I've watched Detractors, I've never heard them wish death on anybody. I don't think I've ever heard that. Granted, I haven't heard all of it, but I certainly don't think I've ever heard that. Even the fucking petty infighting and shit that happens over here and that's happened over there every once in a while, I don't remember ever hearing that. I mean, there's certainly been plenty of threats thrown around, but definitely not a death threat. I've never heard someone sit there and say, yeah, you guys are such losers, you guys don't deserve to exist. I've never heard that. But like I said, I haven't heard everything.
Oh. Trump didn't win. If Trump won the presidency, storm the Capitol. What are you talking about? Where's the evidence? There's zero evidence of anything you're fucking saying. What are you doing? You're out of your fucking mind. Now, how many people went and did it? Now, those are people who did it in person. Those are the ultra nuts. But these people who do this shit on the internet, they feel like I can participate in this crazy activity, and I have absolutely no repercussions for it. You know, the people who stormed the Capitol are in jail right now, federal prison. They tracked them all down and fucking arrested them all, right? Because they broke the law and went crazy. People who do this crazy conspiracy theory shit on the internet, they're protected. Because they're anonymous, no one can go after them for their nonsense. It's really fucked up and disgusting when you think about it, right?
And this is ironic, too, because this is the same guy who, when his girlfriend... Sorry, not even girlfriend. Why am I relegating her down to the lowest common denominator? When his first fiance had a fucking nervous breakdown or whatever the fuck that shit was, or a panic attack, I think it was. When she had a panic attack and she had to be hospitalized, this idiot made a fuss that he had to go and pick her up, brings her home and whatnot, lets her go to bed, and then decides to make a video about it and fucking put it online so he could profit off of it as compensation for having to go and pick her up because they weren't together at the time. That wasn't his issue. That wasn't his problem. And he only did it because they called him first and not whoever it was that she was fucking at the time. Keep that in mind too. Since we're taking a tally on who's good people here or not.
And here's the funny thing. Cashbergo says, Phil's on the left. No, I'm not. I am not on the left. I'm not on the left, and I'm certainly not on the right. I'm on neither side. I've told you guys a million times, it's not about politics for me. It's about me having personal beliefs about things.
It's not about politics, but I just brought politics into it to try to cement my point. Okay.
I am. And, you know, I'll always be an independent guy. Same thing with my stream. I don't shill. I don't lean to one belief system or the other. I tell you how I feel it is, no matter what I'm doing. Okay?
I don't shill. I thought the reason why you don't shill is because the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics kept you from those opportunities. And that's why you can't make extra money in other avenues like other people do. Like the privileged few. I thought that was the real reason. Now you're choosing not to be a shill because you're choosing not to be a shill? So no one actually kept you from anything. So then all of those review copies that you get and all those advanced copies that you may have possibly get and whatnot that you chose not to play day one, or you chose not to play early, I'm sorry, because you wanted the game to be even and fair, wasn't really even and fair when you didn't have to pay for that game. Just like how you said all those years ago, I want to feel the bite in the pockets like the rest of you. I don't want free games. I don't want advantages. I want to be as honest and direct about my opinions as possible without being put in a situation where I have to say something that I don't believe in. But yet, didn't he do a product review on something for the Switch right around the time of his bankruptcy, and he didn't pay for that? That was sent to him. Okay.
Because I'm being critical of insane conspiracy theorists who stormed the Capitol doesn't mean that I'm leftist. It means I'm a logical human. If you can't see that, you're a conspiracy theorist and you're nuts. I mean, that's insanity.
Oh, Phil's afraid of women in games, and he's a prude, and he's this and that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackalese just tipped me $83 and said people are gullible and we cannot change that. You're right, Jackalese. That means we get the tip skull. We've done it. We've hit the tips goal for tonight, and that means, yes, ladies and gentlemen, not only can I afford my bills, but I can buy Mario 3D World. Amazing. Thank you for that. Hold on one second, because I heard a noise. I just want to make sure that it's not Jasper and that he's okay. I did hear a noise. I want to make sure nothing, that he's alright. Give me 1 second. Verify.
Knowing damn well he don't give a fuck about Jasper. He ain't talked all that shit, and he's scared that there's a detractor downstairs. I guess Evil AJ is getting ready to work his way up the stairs and shit with one of the battle axes. And that's what the problem is, I guess. Because remember, because Evil AJ did the first "This Is How You Don't Play" and whatnot, Phil took that as an assumption that Phil was that AJ was gonna come to his house and possibly murder him. That's how stable of an individual we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing.
Yes, Jasper's perfectly fine. Jasper's laying on the bed relaxing right now. It's the neighbors next door. I don't know what, they thump on the walls and shit sometimes. And I hear it and I think that like something fell in the house.
Wait.
Or something.
So your neighbors are making all these noises and shit, right? Every once in a while. And you're scared that someone may be moving around your fucking house, as retarded as that sounds. But yet, you can't clean up your room at night because that right there would cause your neighbors to complain and you would get in trouble with the homeowners association. He's actually said this. He used that as justification on why he doesn't clean his office, because the only opportunity that he has to do it would have to be at night after he's done streaming, and he can't run his vacuum that late. Then why don't you do it on your day off? I can't. I have to run errands with my wife all day. Why don't you just wake up early? I can't do... Dude, you don't understand what it's like to be a fucking mature adult. Take that all... Take that all in.
My other neighbors make no noise at all. Over here, they're sometimes noisy. And it's like, what is going on? And I think that, I get nervous when I'm streaming sometimes. Like, what the hell was that noise? And it's always them.
Jesus Christ. No, we bring this whole... I'm going to bring this whole little thing back for you. The fear that's in his face is fucking amazing. Oh my God, you sound scared. You sound scared. I thought you were in your fucking little gated off community with your private streets and shit, and no one can be up there without being arrested. Why the fuck are you so scared?
On the walls and shit sometimes. And I hear it and I think that like something fell in the house or something. It's my other neighbors make no noise at all. Over here, they're sometimes noisy. And it's like, what is going on? And I think that, I get nervous when I'm streaming sometimes. Like, what the hell was that noise? And it's always them. Han Celebratory says, is Phil paranoid? No, I'm not paranoid, but number one, I do have a pet that's a free-roaming pet that I have to care about and make sure that he's safe. And number two, you do realize I got death threats recently, right? So, due diligence, it makes sense to kind of be a little bit extra careful when you hear loud noises. I'm just saying.
Alright, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm paranoid, anxious, and nervous.
Platinum 1 mods fucked the poll up? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Now people are telling me Platinum Vest 1, I already got the red vest on! This is an atrocity! This is an insult to the entire vest process. I am appalled and disgusted. I'm appalled and disgusted that I would be duped in such a way. I can't believe this. You have to understand something. The vest process is one of the most sacred processes to my streaming career. The vest must be respected with the utmost care. We cannot have a misvesting. Are you telling me tonight we have a misvesting? What? Now I can't even get an answer. Now it's this Final Battle Platinum. What is this? Final Battle Platinum. No, what is Final Battle? What is going on here? I can't wear both the red and the platinum vest. This is ludicrous. This is absolutely ludicrous. What is going on here? No, I need to get to the bottom of this myself. I've had enough. There's only one way to solve this. There's only one way to solve this. Alright, here we go. There we are. Alright, we've solved it. Problem solved. Alright, very nice.
What the fuck is this autism? Holy shit. Okay. So this is the new Philtism, huh? Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, it is what it is.
Let's continue with our grinding. Oh my, where's my headphones? Okay. Alright. This only happens once in a lifetime. Only once in a lifetime. When people are so ridiculous they can't agree. We have to break out the dual vest.
I'm getting stronger.
I've changed the vest game. Well, there you go. We'll do this. Every time I raise $200 in tips, I'll do a double vest. How about that? That's the stupidest idea ever, but someone said it, so I'll do it. Because it's so stupid, I'll do it. Double vest at 200. There you go. The new meme has been born. Double vest Phil. DVP. Double vest Phil. Oh my god. My new name is DVP. I'm using it every day. What's up, everyone? DVP here. How you doing? The double vest streak begins, says Pray for Rock. There you go. There you go. Double vest. If we raise $200 on the stream, it's double vest time. The double vest streak. The thing is, we didn't raise 200 today, so. Baldy says if we get $200 in tips tomorrow, will I track the double vest streak? Oh my god. If you guys wanted to do it, I would do it. It's never gonna happen. There's no way I'm making $200 a stream for any extended period of time. There's no fucking way I believe in hell. There's no way in hell we are raising $200 a stream and there's a streak. It's not happening. There's no fucking way. I would never believe that would ever happen. No, and no circumstances would that ever happen. Now, I didn't believe...
That's a classic maneuver cult leaders use. So that's real good. And the way he keeps hammering it home only kind of intensifies that. This should be good. This should be good. How many parts is LSB's series gonna be? Because I feel like that dude's gonna be there for the long haul. That shit's gonna be extensive. Jesus Christ, there's so many different examples that he has to choose from. God damn.
Vest streak last year would happen. There is no fucking way. There's not a snowball's chance in hell I'm raising $200 per stream in tips to make a double vest streak happen. It's just not happening. I don't believe it at all. I don't. We didn't even raise $200 tonight. We didn't even raise the $200 tonight. So I don't believe it.
I mean, you just instituted it though. So how would you have expected that to happen? And do you come on stream expecting to make $200 per stream instead of making $200 a day?
If you really want to do something that stupid, we'll do it tomorrow.
There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. That I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. It's the guy who just doesn't get reality.
Alrighty then. That was an interesting way to cap that nonsense off. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, give me a second to straighten up, and then we'll reconvene for final thoughts, and I'll let you guys go on with your day. Because why wouldn't we? I'll see you guys in just a second. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and break all this down. Or welcome to the breakdown. Rundown. I'll figure out something. One of the two. They both sound good. All right, so let's go ahead and do the breakdown, and let's go ahead and let you guys go with your day. Destroyed in Call of Duty. Just another day in the life, but this shit was kind of hilarious, though. To be honest, I need as much money as possible in the next 3 days. I don't know. There's something siphoning money from him, but why he needed it in 3 days and how it was connected to Mario that he couldn't afford it, and it just none of that made any sense. And then Mario behind a paywall, yet again, it didn't make any sense why he was doing anything but holding it hostage, as if all of his bills are due on this specific day and he couldn't, extend it. Like that. There's not a grace period or anything. I don't know. The Mee Ree meme just hilarious shit. Yet again, it is what it is. I think that was in the Secret Limited's top 10 worst moments of 2017, if I remember correctly. That show was pretty funny. Let's see here. One of the best overall gamers in the universe. Make what you want on that. Retard is a schoolyard insult. Well, I guess he still kind of thinks he's in the schoolyard, except for he's not getting the locker treatment. Let's see. I never said that I have bills to pay. Sure. Bribes for Jasper. Hilarious. And the fact that he's had Jasper this long and he hasn't given him any treats or anything before seems weird. Many content creators don't pay their taxes correctly. Like Phil knows anything about that, so why would he sling mud at somebody else? Oh, of course, to take the attention off himself. That does make sense, I guess. Mario's not isn't a hostage. Of course it is. Hardcore begging rant. Fucking hilarious. Hilarious. To sit there and have the nerve to say that the vest streak wasn't part of the hardcore begging season and that he wasn't literally begging people to please hit the goal so they could keep the vest streak going. And the fact that the vest celebrations weren't used as some pathetic way of just rallying people up and to keep them to continue doing the vest streak is amazing. On top of that, one more thing. The fact that we were never supposed to ever see DSP tries it ever again. He was done with it. It was fan service. It was a fad. It didn't mean anything. It didn't have any value. He was past that. And then all of a sudden we started bringing it back for that. And we still do it periodically just because. It's amazing what a large amount of money will do for you and still have nothing to show for it. Let's see here. Money doesn't exempt you from the rules. That's just a blatant lie in itself. Ask anybody who's been over there for a while, they'll tell you. My bankruptcy is proof that my addiction to WWE champions doesn't exist. Actually, it kind of reinforces it, to be honest with you. And his rants were just insane, talking about how he made it sound like we were preventing him from getting the bankruptcy, when in actuality, if you kind of think about it, they actually helped him along more than anything. The trolling at the call was probably, which I think people thought was going to be the death nail, may have very well sealed the deal on it. But I mean, that's debatable. It is what it is. I still think the dude who was who called from Citibank, or he said he was part of Citibank or whatever, I still think what he said was enough to wake up the trustee a little bit and whatnot, but I think she just chose to ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Or she felt that it wasn't worth pursuing. But I think in that period of time, she was thinking about what he was saying, and he was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Or he at least has a good point. But sadly, it didn't go anywhere. And Double Vest Pig, we'll see where that goes in future broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like some Phil-tism to me. But it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the breakdown. Thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And so just take care of yourselves and whatnot, and we'll see you guys for the next broadcast, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report. This is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh, yes! A GTG Network Productions. For the Snort Report, for the Goutopia News Network, and for Tim Snortons, I've been your host /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. End of broadcast.